This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
This episode is brought to you by Harry's Razors.
Harry's Razors.
Red hot comic book movie news, shooting up your butthole. The Weekly Planet, the Weekly Planet.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Weekly Planet, where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. My name is James, also known as Mr. Sunday. With me, as always, is my co-host with the most toast, Nick Mace Toast.
Again, the more we
I'll
do
get
this,
it right one
the
day.
more we do these intros, the more I wonder if you're having a stroke before we get started. And in this one, you've introduced the concept of toast.
Yeah, which is
And the smell of burnt toast is often
associated.
associated with somebody having a stroke. So,
Correct.
Again, just checking. I feel oftentimes before we do the show, I say, okay, we should get up a whiteboard and we should do like, okay, remember to people, ask if people will like the videos
Yep.
and here's the stuff we say at the end or whatever.
Thank all everybody
Exactly. I think
associated with it.
one
Yeah.
of the whiteboards should be like that acronym for if someone's having a stroke, like FAST or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then every week I can be like, James, look at it. Okay, firstly, follow my finger. Secondly, how are you doing though?
I feel fine.
You're doing good. I'm
I feel
good.
pretty good, yeah.
I'm wearing a turtleneck.
Yeah, you are. It's looking good.
In honor of Jason Statham.
Ah,
the
so
man can
good.
wear a turtleneck.
You better believe he
Also,
can.
it's very cold over here.
Yeah, it's
cold.
two
It's
things.
cold in Melbourne.
Yeah, you're honouring two things, the weather and Statham.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it. I got some news up top, Mason, and by that I mean Broadway news.
Oh,
'Cause
yes.
people might be interested in this. People in London. Ben from Canada, who edits a bunch of our videos, including the Caravan of Garbages, most weeks.
That's right. He's a single threat.
That's right.
He just edits, right?
No, Mason.
Oh, but
he does
what?
many a good thing. He's a very good actor.
I
He's been
see.
signed up to. He's just finished his acting
Well,
school.
he's bloody good at acting like he likes working for you, eh?
Ah, Mason, that's not very nice.
Give him all the bloody Oscars.
But,
Carry on.
Yeah, so he's in a play in London,
Yeah.
a very well-received play. It's called Southern Bells, and it's playing until August 25th at the King's Head Theatre. It's highly acclaimed. I've read a bunch of reviews, and it's all 5 stars. This is incredible. If you are in London, which I am not, you should absolutely go and see this. It's linked below. They're not paying me to say this. Ben said, can you say this? And I said, you can pay me to say it, I said. Mm-hmm. What was I doing? I'm having that stroke,
Yes,
aren't
you
I?
are. Finally. Let's just get it out of the
look,
way.
I wish I could see it because, look, he's an incredible actor, and by all accounts, it's an incredible play. Tickets are very reasonably priced. It's linked below. If you're in London, go and see it. Go and say hi. Not when he's doing the
Yeah,
his
exactly. I
acting.
mean, I'm sure he would appreciate your enthusiasm.
Yeah.
But that's going to ruin the play.
Exactly.
Unless there's some sort of call and response element to the play.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the play. I haven't seen a play in a while.
Yep.
Have they introduced call and response elements to
Yes,
plays
that's
at this
right.
point? I mean, maybe it's a pantomime.
Could be.
Yeah, if there's a big bad wolf behind him at any point, look, don't interrupt. But if any point a big bad wolf comes onto stage,
Yeah.
you're allowed to say he's behind
He's behind
you.
That's right, yeah.
He's behind
but
you.
that is the extent
That's right.
of the interactions. Anyway, Mason, we've also got other news because this is about movies and TV shows and comics or whatever it is.
Well, apparently it's about plays now. What is it about plays?
Andy Serkis is apparently going to direct Venom 2. There was a number of directors thrown up,
Oh, yeah.
but Tom Hardy posted a picture of Andy Serkis, which makes me think that Andy Serkis is directing Venom 2. How do you feel, Mason?
That's an interesting thing, isn't it?
He did a lot of second unit stuff on the Hobbit trilogy.
Yeah, okay, right.
He also did the Jungle
Did the
Book.
Jungle Book, I know
which
that one, yeah.
is great, I feel. I really like that version of the Jungle Book.
Uh-huh.
I know a lot of people don't, but
Does this give him any kind of creative direction for the movie?
that's a very good question.
Or is it just a case of like, here's the script, do your thing? Because I mean, he is the king of motion capture / performance capture.
Snoke.
Oh yeah, he was also Snoke.
He's
that's true.
Snoke, Mason.
He's Snoke. I'm aware that he's Snoke.
Yeah.
It's true. Does that mean that this might be a really symbiote heavy movie? Like maybe this one moves to the planet of the symbiotes.
Yeah,
And it's all CGI maybe? I don't
Just
know.
goose slapping. I don't want
Yeah.
that. I don't want that.
Absolutely not.
It's going to be Carnage. Didn't you remember?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Was this a heavily motion capture movie? Or what's the deal with it? All right, cool. So I've asked too many questions.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm still very unclear about how most of that movie
Came to
happened,
be, yeah.
or what happened in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Andy Serkis just wants to play some sort of sea creatures in a tank
Oh, that
in a
could
restaurant.
very well be it, yeah.
That might be it.
This could be very much one of those situations where the first one is garbage and the second one fixes it. And I had an example
Yeah.
of that in my mind, and now I don't have that anymore. Terminator 3, for example, is
Oh,
a
yeah,
big
sure.
improvement on Terminator 2.
Absolutely.
That's
yes.
probably a good example,
Yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But that's really interesting. And maybe he's been drawn to it because of, or maybe they've approached him. Maybe they really want to map that Tom Hardy face to the Venom face. Or
Sure.
they want to, I don't know. Or isn't it, I don't know.
I didn't have a problem with the Venom look
No,
itself.
no, exactly.
Yeah.
But maybe they're like, we're going to bring in some new technology. If
Yeah.
anybody can tweak it, you can.
Yeah.
Or maybe the people just like that he's a good director with special effects.
Yeah.
And they're like, you can do this.
And apparently very nice.
He seems very nice.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of, I think it was Vanity Fair videos or something on YouTube
Yeah.
that are like him going through his career and stuff.
I think we've had some people also email in who have met him, and he's kind of always like, first of all, like surprised that he's recognized.
Uh-huh.
But he's been in things as well
He's
as
Claw.
himself. He's Claw for one, for example.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just kind of appreciates kind of the, people recognizing his
That's
work. So
cool,
yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, I think it's a good choice because I don't care about this movie, but I like Andy Serkis. So
Yeah, right. Mhm.
good on him, and I hope he does well.
Me too.
Ava DuVernay has confirmed that the Furies and
Yes.
Darkseid will be in her New Gods movie.
Oh.
Yeah. What are the Furies? Explain it to me so I don't have to look it up.
They're the hang on, they're the fighting force of the female Furies. They're like Apocalypse's they're Darkseid's elite fighting force, I
Right.
think.
Are they
on
good
the
or
planet
for ill?
Apocalypse. They're for ill, I believe. Mr. Miracle's wife,
Is
Big
one of-
Barda, was formerly a
Yes.
Fury, yes.
Yeah,
So-
well, because she's previously been confirmed, so you think it might be a situation of where she's on Earth with Mr. Miracle,
Yeah,
and
maybe.
the Furies are back, and they're like, "You used to be one of us," and she's
Yeah.
like, "Well, now I'm doing Earth shit."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm living in a condo and getting brunch.
That's right, exactly. That's
yeah.
such a good comic.
It is.
Also, I'm so glad they didn't use Darkseid in Justice League.
Me
Because
too.
now they could use him in this.
Yeah.
And he might look like just a grey stone.
Did they recently
I
release...
mean, he does look like a grey stone. If
Yeah.
anyone can look like a big grey stone in a movie, he's allowed to.
He's
isn't
allowed
he?
to do that, I think,
Yeah.
yeah. Did they recently release some concept art of him?
Yes. Actually looked alright, to
I
be
remember
fair,
it
yeah.
looking all right also.
But do you think it would have improved that movie in any way? That good movie that we both like?
And it's a bad movie and no one likes it. No, I don't think it would have, no.
Yeah.
I think the one wise move they made in that movie is not bringing in the biggest big bad first of all.
I do wonder if
Because
they...
then if just Superman just swats him,
Yeah, exactly.
what's the point?
Which
you know?
probably would have been what happened. He throws him back into a portal and he's like, "I'll be back, Superman. I'm back, Superman." Yeah, so there you go. That Snyder Cut's still happening.
Is it real? It's real?
Kevin Smith talked about it this week and said it exists, but it's not finished. So it's a lot of,
Okay.
green screen plates and whatever, and people
right.
standing in front of a wind machine being like, "Get the laser, get it focused on the whatever." You know how movies end nowadays.
Yep, oh yeah, for sure. Yep. Is that how the Snyder Cut was going to end?
Yeah,
The-
probably.
The grim and gritty Snyder Cut was just going to be like, focus the laser. There's too many lasers coming out of the sky.
I wonder what would have happened to the DC universe and what the backlash would have been if that exact Snyder Cut had have come out.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it would have been good.
No.
But I just wonder what the landscape of DC film would have looked like and what the fans would think of it. Because I think it's one of those things where, like, I do want to see it. I can't believe we're still talking about it. But I don't think I'm going to see it and go, "Oh my God, this changes everything."
No,
Like, this
absolutely
is-
not,
Yeah.
Because, I mean, look, I don't even really know any of the details. How much footage allegedly is out there, I wonder?
Apparently he's got a cut. Like we've got a video on it, and at the end, like we
Talked about
we've
it.
talked about it.
Right.
But also,
well, I forgot.
Yeah, but at the end of it, he says, like, someone's filming on the iPhone, and he says, "I've got a cut. It's like at my house." So if someone could perform a Italian Job style safe drop, that's a heads up for Italian Jobs coming next week.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing it this week for Carolina Garbage, hopefully.
Oh, yeah.
But then yeah, so that's how much we've got. A movie with some green screen in it. Focus the laser.
Sounds awful.
You got a crystal. The crystal needs to be aligned.
With a laser. Where'd this crystal come from?
Wasn't there a crystal? Oh, it was a box.
It was a box. Yeah.
Sorry.
Wait, no, we've opened the box. There's a crystal in it. That's the twist that you didn't know about. That's in the Snyder Cut. A box, ridiculous. Crystal, perfect.
Perfect,
Well,
yeah.
Yes.
Speaking of DC, Robert Richardson, who was a cinematographer and was going to be on Ben Affleck's The Batman movie, said they had a script, but it wasn't a loved script, and there was a lot of work that he had to do to change it. he was going into more the insanity aspects of it, where he enters more of Arkham and everything, and everyone was bad. He goes into where everyone was bad. That's the exact quote. So, in Insane Asylum.
Where everyone was bad.
Everyone was bad, including all the staff and the wardens, because they're all corrupt and letting each other in and out of prison. And
Some people in asylums are just misunderstood. They're not all bad.
the Scarecrow,
No, he's bad.
Bane,
No, he's very bad.
the Joker.
One of the worst.
When Batman goes in there and he's like, but I'm not crazy.
Just misunderstood.
You got to align the crystal to let me out of my cell.
And then Hugo Strange is like, there will be no aligning of the crystal, Batman, until you reveal your secret identity to me.
Yeah.
Oh no, the crystal's been aligned. You know?
Yeah, I'm sure I've read multiple comics, including ones recently where it's Batman in a padded cell with a straitjacket on, but he's also wearing the bat cowl.
Sorry, the cow, yeah.
Yeah. So it's booby trapped, isn't it? It's like electrified. And...
Yeah, but generally speaking, the plot line when Batman gets put into Arkham is that the goal here is to get Batman to admit who he is.
Yeah.
And take the
or
cowl off himself.
Or it's not the point that it's like, it doesn't matter who he is. We just have to get him to stop aligning the crystals.
Yeah. And there's just a cleaner there just mopping, and he's like, you should probably just take the mask off anyway. That might be a trigger for him.
Take a mask off, mate.
Yeah. Hey, mate, I reckon probably let you out if you took the mask off, actually.
I owe them up, but
Yeah.
I see a lot of things. Like,
Yeah.
people don't think I see things, but I see things.
I'm just misunderstood.
So yeah, it is a movie. I mean, that isn't happening now. I wonder if the other version is going to have Arkham Asylum in it, because I would like to see that.
Yeah.
Is Arkham Asylum in any other DC movies? I genuinely don't know. Is it the end? Does Lex Luthor go in there at the end?
Of
I don't
Batman v
I don't
Superman.
think he does, actually.
Might
I think
just be prison.
Just prison.
Who cares?
Me, deeply.
Yeah, I kind of care also.
Yeah. I actually forgot to ask you this, but have you watched the trailer for The Irishman?
Yes.
Looks pretty bad, but it's a Scorsese movie, and I don't really care what the trailer looks like, to be honest.
You think the movie will be good regardless?
No.
Okay.
But I think it's just benefit of the doubt for me. I'm like,
Right,
yeah,
okay.
most of his stuff is good, and I don't care if this looks like any gangster film that De Niro and Pacino have done in the last 15 years, which is what it looks like.
It absolutely does. This
Yeah.
could be made from off-cut footage.
Yeah.
This could be a fake trailer, for all I
Yes.
know. You know, sometimes people are like, the Flash movie's out, the trailer for the Flash movie's out, and it's just like old John Wesley Ship
Yeah.
Flash footage, and then like the CW Flash footage,
Yeah.
and some
Michael
cartoon
Keaton
stuff.
Batman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be that as far as I can
Yeah.
tell, but yeah, I'm willing. I will give it the benefit of the doubt.
Definitely. Also confirmed, we talked about this last week,
Uh-huh.
The Irishman is Robert De Niro. We
Yes, it is
suspected
true,
as
yeah.
such.
That's true,
and
we did.
And we knew it all along.
Uh-huh.
The de-aging, people were like, when and what and how? I think there's some in the trailer, but at the end, when you see Robert De Niro on the phone, it's supposed to be this big reveal where it pans around him, and you're like, that's young Robert De Niro. But it's like 2003 Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
I was expecting like Taxi Driver, Godfather.
Right.
Even Heat Robert De Niro. I'll take Heat Robert De Niro.
But are you saying
was he in Heat? He was, wasn't he?
Yeah. What? Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think it was De Niro Pacino.
Yes.
It was their famed final.
They had a cafe off.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
I'm going to get you. De Niro was the criminal.
I don't know.
Val Kilmer had a ponytail.
Yeah, that I know. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
It's not a very good movie.
No.
I know a lot of people like it. I don't
a lot of
think it's
people
very
love
good.
it. Michael Mann is the director of that movie.
Wow. Well said.
I didn't see it for many years, and people were like, you got to see Heat.
It's the
good.
ultimate heist
It's the ultimate
movie.
heist movie. We were speaking of, because we talked heist movies just earlier. We were
Yeah.
doing that video for the Italian Job. And people are like, oh my God, it's the best heist movie. Oh my God, the heist. When they get to the heist, so good. They just shoot.
It's a van.
It's a van and they shoot. They're just shooting in vans.
If it was the best shooting in a van with machine guns movie, I would say, for the time, maybe.
Yeah, top 3 for
Yeah.
the time, sure.
Yeah. It's not terrible.
No.
Yeah.
Michael Mann's done some good stuff.
Yeah, he has.
Not that, or that Miami Vice movie he did.
Or probably the TV show, which he also did.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the original one.
Yeah, yeah.
Is there a new one?
I don't think so.
But maybe there is.
I don't think so.
Okay, I'm going to look it up.
Okay.
While you say more things
I know
about
there was a Lethal Weapon series.
Yes.
They did that. That got cancelled. There was a pilot for a Magnum PI series, I think, which didn't get picked up,
Oh, it
which
didn't get
looked
picked up.
amazing,
Yeah.
which I wish existed. But
Yes.
it does, and I haven't looked for it. I don't think there's a Miami Vice series. Unless, of course, it's just weird stuff happening in Florida.
Oh, there's apparently a 2020 one, so it's upcoming.
I
There's
see.
a reboot in the
right.
works.
Okay, right.
So there you go.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. I'll watch that.
No, you won't.
I'll watch one episode of that. Is Michael Mann involved?
I don't know, but sure.
Okay.
He wants to complete his Miami Vice trilogy.
Yeah. That's interesting because like the original version of Miami Vice is, it's a little it's the pilot was quite dark, and then it was kind of, the tone sort of the episodes I've seen, like the tone, there were some lighter episodes and some darker episodes.
Yeah.
And it was network TV or whatever. And then the movie was apparently like his original vision for
Yes.
Miami Vice, and it was very grim and dark and gritty and bad.
Yeah,
I didn't
it was
like
bad.
So I'm wondering.
And it was mostly just taking boats to
Yeah, it's
Cuba.
mostly
Just
like-
back and
It was
forth.
mostly helicopter shots of boats going to Cuba. But I wonder, because people...
Vin Diesel's an executive
Yeah.
producer on the new one.
All right.
Yeah.
So, because people remember, like, when you think of Miami Vice, people remember, like, white suits, with the sleeves rolled up, and everybody's driving a Lamborghini, and it's all kind of neon and pastels and stuff
Sure.
like that. So I wonder if this new version is going to be, like, modern-day grim and gritty drugs and
Yeah.
Cuba and whatever, or if it's going to be like, well, hey, it's the 80s.
I think it'll be that.
This guy can't let it go. Can't let the 80s go. He's wearing a suit with the sleeves pushed up.
I think it will be Drive, because that's kind of a combination of those two things.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Drive is just old enough now where you're getting too late to it.
Oh, I see, right.
Yeah. Apparently,
Okay.
though, this is why I thought this, because in November of last year, a teaser trailer was released on YouTube and features a black Lamborghini driving through Miami at night.
I see.
Set to In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins.
Oh, I think I vaguely remember
so,
that. Yeah,
yeah,
right.
that's why I thought that.
And also in that trailer, there's a gorilla and he's playing the drums.
That's correct,
That's
yes.
what I'm thinking of, the
Yeah.
Miami Vice trailer. Okay,
I like
yeah.
the new direction they're taking.
Me too.
Why do we get caught on these tangents? The Irishman. It's coming to Netflix.
Okay, yeah, it sure is.
But if it comes to Netflix, can it be eligible for Oscars? Who gives a fuck? It doesn't matter.
Yep.
It doesn't matter.
The Oscars are irrelevant.
Yes.
Except to stars who get a lot more money if they win an Oscar for some reasons. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it is weird. Yeah.
Like, even though Oscars are more irrelevant than they've ever been to people,
Yeah.
to the viewers of these movies, if you win an Oscar, these movie studios are like, we'll give you more money. We'll
Yeah.
give you $10 million more. Why not?
I feel like a lot of the time, someone wins an Oscar and then they don't really bother to do anything good afterwards.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
That is a good example. And that's not true entirely, but it seems often to be the peak of someone's career, and then they're like, whatever, from now on.
Yeah, right, uh-huh.
Yeah. Adrian Brody. I mean, he did Predators, which is an incredible movie.
It's true, yeah.
And when did we talk about Oscars and that? When did
Yeah,
we do that recently?
Did we do it for a video?
We did it for an ad, actually.
Oh, okay, right.
We did it for an ad
Uh-huh.
that some people will hear because it's going to be in some episodes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah, I was like, when did we say that?
Was it in real life? I doubt it.
Yeah. Did you see Christopher Nolan's new movie Tenet or Tenet?
Tenet? How do you
David
spell
Tennant,
it?
T-E-N-E-T, but the second T is upside down, so it looks like an L.
Oh.
It's time travel.
I see.
The trailer's only being released in cinemas. It's being rolled out the world over because the cinema is back, the cinema experience.
Also, you can't get it on YouTube.
Not at the moment. Oh, I watched the leaked version and I was like, I don't know what that is. I
Okay,
have
right.
no idea what that is.
I didn't see it, but I did see, one of those clickbait titles that comes up on Facebook, and it's like, could this be a sequel to Inception? Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's Inception, but time travel.
Is it Inception? And then somebody's like, underneath first comment's like, it's not. I clicked so you don't have to, it's not.
I recommend following Film Clickbait on
That's
Twitter.
a good one, yeah. Mhm.
They'll shut all that shit down immediately.
That's good.
And I look forward to being on it one day with you.
Me too. Hey guys, listen to our podcast. And just above it, it's just got don't
Just
do
someone else.
it. Don't worry about it. We've got all the latest news. They don't.
They don't.
They
It's
don't.
mostly recycled stuff.
Yeah,
They're
don't worry
not. They've
about
got zero inside information. All their scoops are from anonymous emails.
Yep.
They don't know anything. So I find it interesting though that he's at a point in his career where he can be like, it's only going in theaters.
Yeah.
Because it will obviously be released online, but this builds hype as well. I
Okay.
think it's also smart.
So what happens in this trailer?
It's like a guy and he's looking at it like a broken glass, but then it happens again, and maybe it's a time loop, and then there's flashes of a whole lot of different people, and then the word Tenet or Tenet spins upside down, and I'm like, that answered none of my questions about this movie.
Oh
I
my
didn't know
god,
anything about.
Tenet. Maybe it's a Doctor Who prequel.
That's what I was thinking with Christopher
It's not.
Eccleston. It's not.
Film clickbait. It's not. It's not though.
So there you go. Yeah. You're interested, obviously.
Yeah, sure.
You like his movies.
I do for the most part. Yeah.
Except for the one game-breaking element in all of them.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for Inception, it was.
Well, in Dunkirk, it's planes, obviously.
I thought
They're too heavy to fly. You know what I mean?
That's a really good point. Well, it's like a bumblebee, because if you heard this,
Yes.
the physics behind a bumblebee, it technically shouldn't be able to fly.
Film clickbait.
That's a
The
bit-
physics hold up. It's fine.
What are you talking about? Well, I would think that's clearly not true.
Yeah, right.
Because it's doing it.
It's doing it. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
But I remember you said there's going to be a weird time dilation, or there's going to be a weird like wrinkle to Dunkirk, and I was like, they can't because it's World War II.
Yeah.
You can't, and it's based on a real event. But lo and behold, you were right. It's set in like 3 different time periods.
Oh, yeah.
And they all converge at the end.
Oh, my God, I was
You
right.
were right, yeah. So there you go. And
Man, I'm good at this.
yeah, and in
I should write articles for Geek Tyrant or whatever it's called. Okay, well, I'm on board for
yeah,
Tenet
definitely.
again. But like, I don't love everything he's done, but I really did. I like Dunkirk. You know, it's a you know.
You don't like Inception?
No, I do like Inception.
You like Inception.
I
You
like
like
Inception.
Inception,
I like
everybody.
Inception a lot.
Remember
It's
how the
very
buildings fold in? And they're like, do you
Yes.
even remember being in the dream? And they're like, we don't remember nothing.
Yeah, I remember that. It was good.
Good movie.
Yeah, I'm on board. I don't know if I love whatever twist is in this, but I'm willing to give it a go. And they got a lot of style, these movies.
What if the twist is that it is an Inception?
Oh, oh.
What will you do?
What if the twist is there's no twist at all and it just gets to the end and the credits roll and there's like one of those little picture-in-picture things and it's like, hi, I'm Christopher Nolan, the director of Tenet. Thanks for watching. There's nothing more to this. It was just a movie where some stuff happened and then it was the end.
You'll stay till the end of the credits regardless.
But there's nothing.
There's nothing.
Why would there be anything? I'm Christopher Nolan. I don't do that sort of stuff. I'm an auteur.
Yeah.
Anyway, good night, everyone. And then he just waves. He just waves for like 9.5 minutes as the credits roll.
Excellent.
And then he does the
I'm never doing a Batman sequel, by the way. Stop asking me about Batman. I'm done
Not
with
happening, I'm
Batman.
done.
I'm done answering questions.
I only did 3 because the first one did very well and they gave me a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I could do some other stuff that I liked more.
Yeah.
I really phoned in that last one.
Yeah, you noticed.
Yeah.
You all noticed.
You all noticed, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to do another Memento, but I haven't got any more ideas like that.
Yeah, and Guy Pearce has run out of space on his body to tattoo stuff on. So, what do you want me to do?
And then at the end, he does a Ferris Bueller. He's like, go home. Go home. But he's in the Ferris Bueller bedroom.
Yeah, sure.
Go home.
Like, why not? Why not? Marvel is apparently casting in their Phase 4 movies a transgender female role.
Cool.
Codenamed Jessica. They're looking for a trans woman actress of any ethnicity, sorry, in her 20s or 30s to play her. Geeks Worldwide reckons it could be Sarah from I
don't know who that is.
Eternals, maybe.
Oh, okay, right.
Maybe. So there you go. It's obviously PC gone mad, Mason. We both agree with that. But good, because why not just have a more diverse range of people
Would it be nice, wouldn't it?
in a movie? It's
Yeah.
not going to ruin anything. And I know there is also the argument of like, but are you doing it, forcing it to create the controversy to whatever, you know?
Well, that's the thing.
to
You've
get
got
people-
to build that in now. It's like,
And that is an element for a lot of things, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, I think that Bond casting is probably almost exclusively that.
stunt casting.
Yeah, but I'm still also like, but you know what? Bit of representation.
Well, here's the thing, because
Yeah.
I've said this before about all sorts of stuff, is that you have to factor in that on one hand, corporations are heartless, soulless monsters,
Yep.
and they only do anything because it will like affect their balance sheet.
Yes.
Like it'll only put stuff in the it's only for profiting reasons.
The Lion King remake.
Exactly, but and so if they're like, hey, we're going to fully support the queer community for this, obviously that's just a stunt. But in doing that, it can give rise to like queer creators
Yes.
or
I think you said people who actually care about this
yeah,
stuff.
people of color who
Yeah.
actually care about it. They then get a chance to write this thing or star in this thing or do this thing.
Yeah.
And that works out. So like the idea behind they're just doing diversity for profits. Yeah, we know. We know they're just doing diversity for profits, but that means that people will see themselves in these movies,
Yes.
which is good, and people who want to create with a unique voice can do these movies.
That's
So,
right.
there you go.
And sometimes things are good or bad regardless.
Yes. Anyway, we've saved movies.
Yes.
We've done it again, James.
How do we do it?
2 middle-class white men.
Film
have
clickbait.
We've
They did.
They
They did do it.
They did do
This
it.
time they've done it.
Hooray!
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Oh, did you see the Instagram post of the guy whose name I can't recall, but he's Canadian and he is Aladdin in Aladdin, new Aladdin.
Oh, yeah, I like him a lot.
And he was like, I should be the new Wolverine.
He's Canadian
He's Canadian.
Yeah.
That's all that's required.
and he's short-ish.
That's true.
Looks like he grow a pretty good sideburn.
It's true. Also, yeah.
I mean, also it's PC Gone Mad. You need to
I mean, it's
factor that
PC,
in.
yeah, absolutely. It's PC Gone Mad.
I like the new slate that's coming up. I don't know whether any of it will be good, but I think also I like that they're in a position where they've made so much money and there's so much good faith behind the movies that they're trying things a little differently, regardless of how that goes.
Yeah.
But
I think the next Wolverine should be short and squat.
I agree.
Yeah. Like the same height as he is width. You know?
Yes.
You know?
I agree.
Yeah.
Kind of like that He-Man action figure, Ramdar, Battering Ram.
Ramdar.
What's
No, it was Ram Man.
Was it? Okay.
It was
there you
Ram
go.
Man.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
Get whoever played him in the cartoon, He-Man.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I saw Taron Egerton as well. People were like, what about him? I'm like, yeah, sure. Why not?
No, I
I
don't
mean, it's
like
PC Gone Mad,
It's
obviously.
PC Gone Mad. A British
Are
person.
you kidding me?
A British
When are we
person.
getting a British Batman?
Ugh.
You know I'm not happy about that,
I know.
Mason. Ryan Reynolds has posted on Twitter an Instagram post that's related to Deadpool. It's like one of those serial killer boards where all the strings connected.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
And it says investigating heading into year 5, or as I call it, phase 5. The point is I love conspiracy yarn.
Oh, so the phase for year 5 of the Deadpool cinematic universe.
Yes.
Is that the joke?
Or
Yes.
hashtag leak anniversary, which is what it's of. So when Deadpool was leaked
right.
and...
Mhm. By him, allegedly?
Yes, it was him.
Okay,
I
right.
mean, he hasn't... Yes, I mean, he
Oh, yeah.
said everything but.
Oh, right, uh-huh.
Yeah,
Sure.
he did leak it. Yeah.
good for him.
I know, because that whole franchise is better for...
I agree.
The X-Men movies made money because of that.
That's true.
Yeah. They should thank
He
him every
tricked
day.
so many people
He really
into
did.
seeing those X-Men movies.
So there you go. So phase 5, it looks like. What I also get from that is Deadpool won't be in this next phase, but he'll be in phase 5.
Of
I'd
the Marvel
imagine.
Universe.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Because they own him.
That's true.
And he'll probably come out at the start with Mickey Mouse ears, and he's like, what is this bloody Mickey Mouse show? What is this, a bloody Mickey Mouse show? But then twist, he's in a dress, it's Minnie Mouse.
Oh, my goodness.
Isn't that Deadpool?
That is very Deadpool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, I'm free to write it if anybody. I'm not doing anything most days, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, what do you think, though, phase 5? Then that's at least 2 years off, 3,
yeah, cool.
more likely.
All right, I'm on board.
Great, awesome. All right, we're going to talk about The Boys and Hobbs and Shaw in that order, aren't we, Mason? If you want to skip ahead to Hobbs and Shaw, you can. There's also spoilers. We'll put in the spoilers for The Boys if you want to skip, but it's on television. You can watch it on television. Yeah.
Nice.
Let's do that now. Oh, there'll be an ad first.
Oh, okay, there'll be an ad.
Yeah.
And then we'll put in the pre-recorded segment about the boys. that we
No,
did.
this is all one segment.
Is it? Good for us.
Yep.
Okay.
We didn't record it 3 days ago.
Okay.
So this wouldn't be an exhausting episode.
I understand.
I love ads and I love doing ads.
Me
I love
too.
slipping into an ad mid-podcast.
Seamless.
Seamless, like the integration of an ad in a podcast.
Synergy.
That's right.
Product integration?
Mason!
Well, not really, because we don't shave on mic.
No, we don't.
We could.
We leave Mike alone.
Get out of here, Mike. It's the intern.
Your dog.
Yeah.
Listen, you got any travel plans for the summer, Mason, / the winter period here?
Yep.
What do you got? What are you doing?
Road trip?
Road trip, exactly. And that's a really good idea when you go on a road trip, as I did recently, Mason, to the
yes.
Gold Coast, to the GC.
How'd that go?
Good, because you bring your Harry's razor, you put it into the travel case, you go on your way.
Was that the only highlight of the trip?
Absolutely.
You're like, oh, why am I doing this? Oh, I get a chance to shave though. Very nice.
Delightful. A lot of guys actually buy disposable razors when they travel. You know, you might grab them at the airport or whatever.
Huge mistake.
But you really
I don't know.
do
I don't
that.
know where this ad copy's going.
What if it wasn't? What if it was like, and it's the best thing
No,
you could do?
no, I'm taking a stand. I don't care what you say.
No.
It's a big mistake. Bring your Harry's razor.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Because you don't have to sacrifice quality for price. Because Harry's deliver high quality, travel friendly shave supplies at a great low price. And that's just $2 per blade. And that also helps out the show, doesn't it? When people use our
Absolutely it
special offer
does.
that we've got. Harry's were founded by two regular guys who are tired of getting ripped off for paying for overpriced gimmicks.
Sometimes at the airport
Sometimes at the airport.
or at the road trip port. You know?
I bought a bottle of water at the airport. It cost $5.50.
Huh.
That's outrageous.
That is outrageous.
It is outrageous. It's water.
Yeah.
I drank from the toilet, Mason. That's what I did.
But you bought the bottle of water.
Yeah, but it's the
It's
principle,
the
isn't
principal
it?
thing. Okay, right, I get you.
So they don't do vibrating heads, heated blades, handles that look like a prop in a sci-fi movie. Those are just some of the tactics that the leading brands have used to overcharge for years.
Thumbs down, I say.
That's right. Again, quality, durable blades at a fair price, just $2 per blade.
They really are.
They cut out the middleman. You also get a sweet discount through this podcast. Mm-hmm. Harry's owns a world-class blade factory in Germany, and they're making some of the best razor blades in the world for 99 years. And now they can provide great quality comfort at factory direct prices with 100% quality guarantee. So if you don't love your shave, let them know and they'll give you a full refund.
Full refund.
This summer, refresh your wallet and your face with a Harry's trial set because it comes with a weighted ergonomic handle for an easy grip, 5-blade razor with a lubricating strip and trimmer blade for a close shave, rich lathering shave gel that will leave you smelling great, and a travel blade cover, as mentioned, that keeps your razor dry and easy on the go. And also they last...
easy on the eyes.
That's right, that's true, Mason. And they last for a heck of a long time, am I right?
You better believe it.
I do believe it, and I have continued to believe it. Now, if you go to harrys.com/weeklyplanet, you can redeem your offer and let them know that we sent you to help support the show. That's harrys.com/weeklyplanet to redeem your offer. All of that trial set, as mentioned. It's linked below. Helps us out, doesn't it?
You
And
better
helps
believe
your
it.
face out.
Mine personally?
And Mike. Get back in here, Mike.
Haha, we forgive you. Just kidding, get out.
Amazon might be on a bit of a roll at the moment, Mason. Would you agree with that? In terms of
think they
quality
are.
superhero shows.
Yeah, The Tick.
The Tick. Good Omens. Well,
Yes.
not superhero, but you know what I mean. Comics,
Fantastical.
Fantastical books.
Books.
More books than anything, isn't it?
This.
What am I doing?
This started out really narrow, and then you broadened it out as you realised that the
Three things I was talking about aren't all comics.
No, that's true. Yeah, yeah.
But The Boys also.
Well, yeah, The Boys.
Have you seen all three of those?
I have seen all three of those.
You've seen all of Good Omens?
Yes.
Interesting. What do you think of that, just quickly?
I like it. It's very
Douglas Adams.
Yes, it's very Douglas Adams. Absolutely. It's very that Hitchhiker's movie that
Yeah.
not a lot of people saw, but I still enjoyed.
You wish.
Yeah. When did we watch it that time and all those guys walked out? Do you
Yeah.
remember that?
They were like, well, I remember one guy, he was going to insult it on the way out.
Yeah.
And he went, stupid, dumb movie.
Nice.
He got him.
Yeah, he did get him.
Yeah. I think it was the 4-minute dolphin singing that broke you.
Yeah, it was, yeah. And the voiceover, I think.
Yeah,
and
right.
there was voiceover and there was reading.
Yes.
And there was dolphin stuff, and I don't think he could handle it, to be honest.
Anyway, this was going to be a movie, actually. 2008, Adam McKay, he signed on to do it.
Oh.
It did end up happening. I think it works better as a TV series.
I think so
feel.
too, yeah.
So Eric Kripke, who you may know from Supernatural.
No.
He did like the first 17,000 seasons or something
Oh, yeah,
like that.
terrific.
Yeah, I think he did the first 5.
The first third.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, right. And this is another Seth Rogen joint.
It is, yeah.
In the tradition of Preacher, because this is a Garth Ennis created franchise.
I just saw this. It started at Wildstorm, one of your favorites.
That's true, it did.
And then moved to Dynamite.
Which
yeah.
I'm going to assume. I don't know the timeline there, but I would assume that's because Jim Lee, who owned Wildstorm, sold it back to DC. And then he probably was like, if anybody wants to jump ship, you can jump ship.
Yeah.
I imagine Garth Ennis would have jumped ship.
Because Wildstorm was creator owned, was it?
Yeah, Wildstorm was an image. Was an image brand.
Off
Yeah.
thing. There you bloody go. We did an episode on it probably.
We did.
didn't
That's
we?
true. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we're already getting season 2 of this. It's already in production. I think
right,
they're filming it currently. What do you think the story was?
Oh
now?
no!
I got ya. Snuck it in.
You bloody, you got me. It's modern day America, isn't it? Except,
Isn't it just?
There's superheroes, except bit satirical, isn't it?
Corporations.
Organized religion,
Shenanigans. Yeah.
babies shooting lasers out of their eyes.
That was incredible.
Pretty good, right?
The best.
Yeah.
What'd you think of this?
I think it's skirted the line, but it's very much like right on the edge. It's edgy, let me tell you.
I can appreciate
But
that.
it's right on that line of like, okay, this is quite a clever satire of what's happening in superheroes and what superheroes would be like in the real world and the corporatization of that. And at the same time, and then sometimes it skips up the line. I'm like, that's a bit much.
A bit gross and a bit much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Are you talking about specifically like sexual assault stuff and things out of
Yes,
it? Yeah. I don't
correct,
disagree
yes.
with that. Though the thing is, it's less of that in this than there is in the comic.
That's true. It is.
Yeah.
It is a little bit. It's
a bit toned
significantly
down.
cleaned
Yeah,
up.
if you can believe it.
But I mean, there was something like 70 issues of the comic book. So
Yeah.
there's plenty of room to make things worse.
To move
and
into
maybe
that,
this
yeah.
is a very cleaned up intro.
Yeah.
Just to ease people in, and then season 2 will get worse.
Yeah.
We don't know yet.
Yeah, because I'm the same with you. Like, I found those bits uncomfortable. But then I'm also thinking, this is a terrible universe with terrible people. But then I'm also thinking, is there a better way to do it than...
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
because it kind of adheres to the comics in some ways by doing those things. But yeah, it's kind of like, are we still doing this? Kind of...
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right. But at the same time, if you don't put that stuff in, it's really just
Yeah.
Justice League, but they're kind of rude.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Well, that's That's
I love the
exactly it.
I love the idea of just oh my god, this is a real skewering of the MCU and the DCEU. You know, those multi-billion-dollar companies from us, the little guy, Amazon,
Yeah, I know,
the
right?
biggest company in the world.
We've never paid taxes.
Yeah.
And we never will. It's very well cast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's less well accented, certainly.
Oh, you talking about Billy Butcher
Yes, I am.
specifically?
Yes, Carl Urban.
Because he is British, isn't he?
No, he's from New Zealand.
No, I mean, sorry,
the
in the
character,
comic he's supposed to be.
He's-
He
uh-huh.
looks like him, doesn't he? Would
That's
you
true.
rather him have his New Zealand accent? Be like, isn't it?
No,
What-
absolutely
That's not
not.
New Zealand, though, is it?
No, I do like his accent that veers from Cockney to whatever else.
Yeah, I didn't mind it.
No.
I was watching this and I'm like, is this a terrible accent?
On purpose.
On purpose, or like, or if you're from England, is it like offensive to hear?
Here's another
Because for
thing-
me, I don't
yeah.
mind it. I'm like, because this is garish and over the top.
Yeah.
So I'm like, whatever. I don't
Yeah.
give a shit.
What I think is just an interesting thing, sort of apropos of nothing, that we're probably else we're going to talk about, but that the fact that
non-spoilers and spoilers.
yeah,
right?
sure, that he
Yeah.
drops the C bomb so often that I wonder if America has adjusted to that at this point, or
Yeah.
if that's still is that meant to be part of the shocking nature
right. That's a
of
good
the
question.
show and the character that he just keeps doing this? Because I'm like, that's kind of quaint, isn't it?
We could, well, because in Australia, it's a term of endearment.
Absolutely.
It's a flat out insult. It's
Yeah.
hailing a cab. It's whatever. It's whatever you want to use it for.
That's right.
Yeah, actually, to our American listeners, yeah, was it kind of shocking to see that? I think probably less so now than like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
That's true.
It's not a word I really use that much.
No.
But you know,
Yeah.
if you want to use it, Mason, now's your opportunity. You can prove that you're not a coward.
No, I'm going to save it
You
up.
can't do it. He's
No,
still a
I'm
coward.
going to save it up.
Yeah, good for you. Simon Pegg, it's funny that he plays Huey's father because from the comic, he's just Simon Pegg.
Oh yes, in
Yeah.
the comic book, I guess is it who did the art in the original couple thing? Was it Derek Robertson? I don't
Couldn't
know.
tell you, yeah.
But yeah, his visual inspiration for Wee Huey in the comic book is just Simon Pegg.
Yeah.
I guess when it was originally meant to be a movie,
Yeah, like 2006 or whatever.
it could very
It was
well have
written
been
there.
Simon Pegg.
Yeah.
But a decade plus later,
Yeah.
he's a dad now. I
He's
guess.
a dad now with abs now.
Oh, is he?
He's doing abs now.
Yeah, no,
Seen
that's
his
true,
like
yeah.
GQ shoot or whatever.
I guess he's probably
doing abs now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was watching an interview with him recently because he's cleaned up all his, like he was verging on alcoholism and all this kind of
Oh,
things. and
really?
yeah, he's cleaned himself up.
Okay.
I'd never thought that about him. Like he seems like a nice enough guy.
Yeah,
who
right.
has no personal problems, but
Maybe-
we've all got demons, don't
Maybe
we?
it's in his autobiography that I didn't read.
Oh. What's it called?
Nerd do well.
Oh, I thought you were going to make up something.
No, it's real.
So this wasn't a beat that you were doing? You weren't building up to an incredible joke?
Now I'm gonna have to, aren't I?
Frenchie's good. Maybe a real French guy. Who's to say?
That's all we can ask for, isn't it?
Kamiko's good. Mother's Milk's good. Starlight's good. Like I guess the good people in this. I guess
The core cast.
Yeah,
uh-huh.
are all very entertaining in their
What do
own.
we know about the actor that plays Homelander?
I actually just looked into this.
He's
before.
also from New Zealand.
Yeah, he's also because you know what's good about a lot of the heroes from this, with the exception of A Train.
Yes.
I didn't recognize specifically a single one of them.
What's A-Train from?
He's Shaft Junior.
Oh, okay, right.
He's
that
Will
movie I saw mere weeks ago.
That's
that
right.
I didn't recall.
He's
Okay.
Will Smith Jr. from Independence Day. No, just Junior from Independence Day. This is the only role that he's done where I'm like, he's okay.
All right,
Yeah, because the other ones, it's just. I did watch Shaft at your
Yeah, I know you did,
behest,
and you
I
hated
did
it.
not
No,
enjoy
that's
it
fair.
at all.
Uh-huh.
Shaft 2000 all the way, baby. Yeah. Yeah, Mason.
No, I disagree.
So, no, he's from New Zealand. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of him?
Good,
Yeah.
great. That's
I think that added to it. It's kind of that Chris Reeve kind of thing of like, it's an unknown.
yeah. We don't have any preconceived notions of what that character can or cannot do or be.
I thought he was American. I had no idea until I looked it up.
That's what we
He's
want.
not
It's
even
the flag.
blonde.
It's the flag that does it.
That might be it.
Yep. Mhm.
Costumes are good, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. He never really gets out of that costume, does he? Must
Hmm.
be uncomfortable. What's under there? Is it glued to him? At least the top half is.
It's true.
Something's going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I enjoyed. I mean, I think maybe I wonder about in terms of pacing. Like, I don't think it's a spoiler to say that everybody in all the superheroes are bad people. That's
Yeah.
the whole premise. It's in the trailer.
Though there is more so than the comics, and our friend Hollywood Pete Ford didn't like this element of it. They humanize a lot of them.
That's
like
true.
They do the worst thing imaginable, and then come around and be like, "But they've got their own demons," and I'm like, "Yeah, but fuck that guy."
I guess in the comic books, for the most part, they're just awful. They're all just
Yeah.
awful people. For the
Yeah.
like, there's no.
awful and stupid.
Yeah, we encounter. They're like, we're gonna get this super team and beat them up or whatever, and then they're all horrible people involved in awful things, and then they just go, we're gonna blackmail you, and then they're like, well, let's fight, and then they kill each other.
Yeah,
it's kind of
pretty much.
It's more cut and dried in this. Yeah, do you think they should have spaced out the revelation that Homelander is not all that he says he is, or like that he's not this paragon of virtue?
right.
Because I think they pretty much give the game away like episode 1.
No,
or
they
episode...
do. You're right. They do.
Yeah.
They do give it away fairly quickly. Yeah. Maybe. I mean, having read the comics, I knew that obviously. Yeah. But do you think people would have figured it out, even though he was like, that guy's, they haven't got a bloody thing on Homelander?
Yeah,
or
I thought that was weird that there was nothing on that guy, despite the fact that
they knew a lot about him.
Yeah, and
he knew specifically a lot about him.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess there was nothing that they could openly use on him, I guess. The other ones, a lot of them they could.
Yeah,
maybe.
that's true.
There's things that like A-Train ran through a woman.
Yeah, that's true, he did. Yep.
There's a lot of people exploding like a bag of blood in this.
Yes.
Which I
like.
like.
And being sliced to pieces.
Yeah. Like that laser vision that they use in that, it cuts through a plane at one point. It's really good. It's more light on fighting and action sequences and special effects than I think you'd realize. Or a lot of the special effects is like background stuff. You know what I mean? It's not all brawly, punchy.
That's true. It is. I mean,
through.
again, very small budget, Amazon.
Yeah, that's right, exactly.
They got no money. So.
Yeah, but I like the element of, if this happened in the real world, first of all, God help us, bloody every one of us, mate.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because it would be like a corporation getting together a group of these people and monetizing them and having press events and selfies and being like, okay, so if you save a bus, then you got to stay around and get selfies and then whatever.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
It'd be like being a professional sports person.
Yeah.
And there would be some that are terrible, most that are terrible probably, and some that are, that are just trying to do the right thing or whatever.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that element kind of rang true to a thing that's very much untrue. Queen Maeve I liked as well. Another actor I'm like, don't know who this is, but it works because it's like this Wonder Woman-esque.
It's Wonder Woman.
Yeah, it is. Wonder Woman without the lasso.
Or the flying, or the flying, or the jet.
There's a guy who's Silent Batman.
Yeah.
What's his deal? I can't remember from the comics. I haven't finished them, actually.
Well, that unless there's going to be some sort of odd twist in season 2, in this he kind of just is Silent Batman, but in the comic books, he's a clone of Homelander. If you recall.
I'm not up to that yet.
Okay, right.
There you go. Oh, there you go.
Oh.
That's probably what it will be here.
No. Well, I mean, it might be, but but
they're not doing that storyline though, I guess.
No. So there's the revelation. See, I can't say it without spoiling. Okay. I can't say it in non-spoilers, but if I tell you, I'm also spoiling you for the comic books.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
I think I know it anyway. Yeah, but do you want to move into spoilers?
Let's move into spoilers.
Yeah. Okay. Go on. For the comic and the.
Oh, okay. So in the comic book, all of the most horrible things that Homelander does are actually Black Noir,
and
because he's a clone of Homelander,
and he's trying to come to terms with that.
Yes,
because
exactly.
he thinks it's him that's doing it.
Yes,
that he's going mad. Or
but in this, all the worst stuff that's happening is Homelander because he's a terrible person.
Yeah, though he still does some terrible things in the comic. Because I've started rereading again. There's a bit where a family win like a dinner with Homelander, and so he flies off with their car, and then he just drops it.
Yeah,
like he's just like, I'm not doing this. He just lets them die.
Right.
What I kind of wish.
I think that's one aspect that they have had to tone down in this is that in the comic books they are the worst people alive.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases, and you can't like, and that works because it's kind of this hyper real cartoony world in The Boys in the comic book, but in the TV series, if he was dropping people off, someone would notice. Someone would notice. Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, absolutely. A big change that I noticed from this, and I think it speaks to the whole series, is how they handle the plane crash sequence. Because from the comics, from my memory, the superhero team get into the plane and they're like, "Don't worry, everybody, we've got this," and they just fuck it because none of them are engineers or pilots or know what they're doing, and they end up crashing the plane and panicking and leaving.
Yes,
but in this, it's he kind of cuts through the fuselage or whatever, and then it's like, they're done. I can't. I'm just gonna go. So I think that's the difference.
Yeah, there's also way more incompetence in the cartoon series as well. Like these guys seem, again, they are more like elite athletes. They do for the most part know what they're doing, but they're also constrained by this corporate structure, or like this idea that they're these religious figures.
Yeah.
And also they're awful.
They're awful. And also they're manufactured.
Yes.
Yeah. I think season 2 they're going to move into that compound V isn't a pill and anyone can take it and then be superpowered for an hour and then they can punch on. Because there's zero of that in this.
Yeah, that's true.
Except for Kamiko, who's superpowered from the get-go.
In the comics, if I remember correctly, Billy gives Huey a superpower pill
Yeah.
and makes him superpowered and he's not on board. Again, because they killed his girlfriend.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but yeah, I mean, because this series is left on this cliffhanger that is not from the comic books. Again, they're going off script immediately with this series, where the reveal is that Butcher's wife is still alive.
Yeah.
And she's had a kid with Homelander, and he's superpowered.
Yeah.
And I think the remainder of the boys might mount a rescue mission from that point forward. Like they'll take the because otherwise, how's Butcher getting out of this one? You know,
that was interesting about this version of Homelander because he's raised. I can't remember whether he's in the comics. Maybe he's not. But being raised in a lab, he's just insane.
Yes,
because he's never been held or hugged. He's got weird kind of sexual fetishes because he wasn't, nursed as a baby or anything that. And was that like that in the comics? Or
I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
I'm pretty sure in the
he's dumber in the comics. I feel.
Yeah, they're all dumber.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, that's that the cartoony world where it's like if you bring any of those elements to, I think this is a surprisingly good adaptation.
Yeah,
I'm surprised
I really
how good it is.
I really liked it. Yeah, I think I enjoyed it probably as much as The Tick. I would say for different reasons entirely. Yeah.
I think I like The Tick a little bit more.
That's okay. You're allowed to. Tick also got 2 seasons, but no more.
Yeah.
I'll make sure of that.
Oh, no.
What I did like about Elizabeth Shue's character I liked as well. She kind of had a handle on all these superhero characters, but she obviously not powered herself until it gets out of hand and because she's just a lunatic and just burns her eyes and brain out or whatever.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I was thinking about it on the way over here, and I'm like, Butcher just blew her up, and then I'm like, no, he lasered her eyes out.
Do you reckon they got the baby out? He probably wouldn't have. He didn't like that baby, did he?
No.
Yeah.
Is it Homelander's baby, though?
I don't think so.
Okay, just a regular baby.
Yeah.
Okay, probably not then.
Probably not, yeah. The laser baby's great, though.
Yes.
The laser-eyed baby. Incredible. What I also liked about this is the way that they talk about how hard superheroes are to kill, and each one of them presents a unique problem because they're all different.
Yes.
So you can't kill one the same way as another.
That's
essentially,
true.
Yeah. They killed the Invisible Man, whatever his name is. What's his name? Mirage or
It's translucent.
yeah, by putting C4 up his ass, whatever, exploding him. But that wouldn't work on. Actually, it'd probably work on a lot of them.
Yeah, yep, absolutely.
Think about it.
If they could build some sort of C4 rectal delivery system, I think they could work on most of them, to be honest.
Boom. Yeah, right up there. Mm-hmm. Why do you think Homelander's the strongest one of all of them? Being the first?
I think probably... actually, there's a good question. I think in the comic books, isn't he was the original? Or is he and all the rest are cloned from him? Is that the case, or am I misremembering
Honestly,
that?
couldn't tell
There's
you.
people yelling at us right now. It doesn't matter. But I think probably in that, and also I think he's had the constant dosage of the Compound V from childhood to now.
Right, okay.
I think.
Yeah.
And the rest of them just had it at childhood. They got their superpowers.
Yeah.
Now they're out in the world.
It's also one of those things where if you were presented with the opportunity to dose your kid with it and then they could live a better life, it would be a thing that I'd imagine a lot of parents would consider doing.
Isn't there a chance you explode?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you can be famous.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, it depends what you get.
But that's just like in real life.
Exactly.
You can explode and you can be famous.
And you have no control. It's one or the other.
That's true.
You just don't know.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's also interesting how some of them don't manifest how you'd want. Like the Deep, who's like the Aquaman, has the weird gills on his abdomen or whatever.
On his tum-tum.
On his tum-tum, yeah. Mm-hmm. Which is, I also enjoy like the different divisions. Like you want to be in the 7, but there's like tiers.
Yeah.
Of like, where does he end up?
He ends up Iowa, I think.
Iowa, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Good on him. The fight with the Invisible Man, Translucent Boy, whatever, is good. That's a good
The
effect.
initial one, the first.
They're spitting blood on him, and then you can see him. I like how they're like he's invisible and
indestructible.
I guess he's indestructible. He's got 2 things. All right. What do you bloody want from it? Would you recommend this though to people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
30-day free trial.
That's exactly
video.
it. I think it's definitely not for everybody. Claire and I briefly talked about it on Suggestible, our podcast.
Did you make her watch any of it?
No, I'm like, you will hate this from the get-go. Yeah. There's none of this will appeal to you.
Would she like The Tick, I wonder?
I think she might like The Tick. The Tick's more kind of
The Tick, if we can briefly talk about the Tick.
Yeah.
The Tick's more of a background character. Having watched
Yes,
the entire thing
he
at
is.
this point, 2 seasons only, very sad,
Yeah.
RIP the Tick. He's really just there to
Arthur's the
yeah,
lead,
Arthur's
really.
the main guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Tick is mostly just... And I really enjoy Peter Serafinowicz as the Tick.
Yeah. I think that's smart though, because he's pretty much he's a fairly one-dimensional character.
Oh, yeah, for
and I
sure.
don't mean that in a negative way. I think
Yeah.
that's what works
He's-
about him.
yeah, by
he's
design, he
simple
is.
and straightforward. And there's an element of where's he from? What's his
Yeah.
origin? Doesn't matter.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's the boys versus the Tick. It's those two different approaches. With the boys, they went, okay, well, let's take these somewhat one-dimensional comic book characters and flesh them out for real life.
Hmm.
And with the Tick, every version of the Tick is just, let's just get him and put him.
Yeah.
Let's get the flat 2D guy and just put him in real life.
That's all you really
And
need.
and that's him interacting with the real world. You
that
know?
suit looks really uncomfortable, doesn't it?
Yeah, every version of it.
How do you feel? I don't think season 2 was as strong. I think it lacked a definitive villain. It was kind of like
Yeah.
I won't really spoil it, but it was more like corporations or something, or like bureaucracy was the villain.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think the Tick works best with the Terror.
Yeah.
Or a Chairface Chippendale.
Yes.
Which we didn't get.
No.
Or...
Lobster Hercules?
Yeah, Lobster Hercules or the evil Midnight Bomber, what bombs at midnight. Or any of those characters. It felt to me like it was just getting started.
Yeah.
I think they were like, here we go, season 2, time to stretch our wings. Let's really kind of flesh out some of this stuff in this universe. And then before they got to another major villain.
Yeah. I don't think
Damn.
anybody really watched it. I think it's probably
Yeah, right.
getting more eyes on it now.
Well, I only watched it after.
Yeah.
I only watched season 2 after it got cancelled.
Yeah,
So.
same. I watched the whole thing after it got cancelled. Well, because I remember they released the pilot in 2016, and then it was maybe a clear year before the rest of the season. And I went, yeah, I'll
Oh, right.
maybe get around to this. Maybe they would have benefited from dropping it all at once, maybe.
Yeah.
and going
Well, I
that
mean,
direction.
Griffin Newman, who is Arthur on the show, he has talked about, and he was one of the first people to talk about, your Netflixes and your Amazons incentivized to only release 2 seasons of anything because it doesn't make any more sense
Yeah.
economically to do more seasons because it doesn't bring in more people.
Yeah.
Did the people creating it for Amazon know that at the time?
Right.
Because I think if they didn't, they could have done 2 really strong
And finished it.
super focused
Yeah.
seasons.
You put in kind of everything you want to see. in
Yeah,
that.
you put in a strong villain season 1, even more stronger villain season 2,
Yeah.
and then you have the Terror. Spoiler alert for season 1, he is captured at the end, and then you
Hmm.
would have had him escape in the second one, and
Yes.
then team up with the new villain, and blah blah
I
blah.
don't think he's not in the second season at all, is he?
No.
Yeah. There you bloody go.
But again, I really liked the cast of characters. I liked the sister. I liked Overkill. I
Yep.
liked Miss Lint.
Overkill's great.
Overkill is good.
Yeah.
The ongoing sort of identity crisis of Superior, who is the Superman Homelander kind of character
Yes.
who can do anything, but what is he doing with his life kind of thing.
It's a very good question. What a world.
And there was a big naked man in it. So that's fun.
What's a big naked man?
Yeah.
That was my favorite part.
Yeah.
Anyway, 2 good shows.
2 good shows.
If you had to recommend one, which would you recommend?
I would probably recommend The Tick.
Yeah. I think
Because-
The Boys would be easier to get into.
Do you think that?
Well, I think it's more like subverting your expectations. The Tick is weird. And I think if I had to
right.
recommend to a friend, I would say The Boys is more Game of Thrones and The Tick is more Community, I guess, if I had to pick.
You're right. You
Like a
wouldn't recommend
spectrum.
Community over Game of Thrones.
Well, I think not to a regular person, no.
Right,
Because
okay.
Community, it didn't do very well, did it?
No, that's true.
It ended up on Yahoo streaming or whatever.
Oh,
it
no.
did.
Fate Worse
Yeah,
Than
I
Death.
like Community. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, right.
But what I'm saying is I think The Boys is more commercially viable than
Right.
The Tick.
Yeah, I guess that's probably true. But I think if I was confronted with somebody who's like, I don't like superheroes.
Yeah.
Change my mind somehow.
Yeah.
I think I would give him The Tick.
But you could also do that with The Boys because the show is about...
Are you being sponsored by The Boys?
Well, it should just be called I Don't Like Superheroes.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Because that's...
Well, Garth Ennis, the creator,
Yeah.
seemingly really hates them.
Yeah.
So
And that's one of his greatest strengths.
why not get into the comic book industry?
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Also, do you suspect that the child of Homelander, that's a consensual child?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see how that plays out in season 2 of
The Boys.
but not season 3 of The Tick.
No,
which is
I repeat
cancelled.
The Tick. Okay, but here's a question.
I'm not ready.
No, you are ready because we stopped talking about The Boys and then we stopped recording and then I'm like, should we talk about what happens in season 2? So my question to you is,
Okay.
I don't think you're going to be ready for this though.
All right.
What do you think's going to happen in season 2?
Okay, I think, as mentioned, it's going to be revealed that the Homelander's child, that was a consensual relationship, an affair, as it were. I think that I'd also prefer it to go that way.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's less disturbing. And
Less
again,
disturbing.
it's a trope that's...
Yeah.
The fact that it's like it should be done.
Yes.
We should stop. There's no fresh take on that
No.
ever, I don't think, anymore.
I
So-
think it's also the thing of, for the character of Billy Butcher, it's probably the worst thing he could hear.
Yeah,
Because
that's
he's
true.
driven by rage and vengeance and, this violent act that he thought happened. But what if it didn't?
Yeah, that's
You know what I
true.
mean? What if he was a bad husband and,
Yeah.
she was an unfaithful wife and
That happens.
That
yeah.
happened.
Exactly. Yeah. And I read yesterday that... So
All your troubles seem so far away.
Exactly.
But now it looks as though
Yes.
everything's still good.
Oh, nice. That's really good. All right. Good night, everyone. So in the comic books, we have the original Nazi supervillain was Stormfront, or the original Voight creation was this super being called Stormfront. And it's being and in the comic books it's a man, and in the TV show it's going to be Aya Cash, who is the female lead in You're the Worst. Which is a
Okay,
series
right.
I enjoy very much.
I've not seen that yet.
Well, that just finished up.
So is she going to be a modern day villain though?
I don't. There's no
like a
detail.
terrorist, because they're talking about, because they bring in terrorist
Yeah, that's
supervillains
true. Well,
in
maybe.
this.
Yeah. I mean, the one of the second. So the second story arc of the boys, I think they go to Moscow.
Yeah.
In the comic books, it's Russia's the villain, and there's exploding supervillains and what have you. And
Yeah.
Voight they create some of these supervillains with the plan that they're going to blow them up.
Right.
And then all the heroes are going to come in, and then the villains are going to be destroyed, and blah blah blah. So I think we might see that, because again we have those exploding supervillains, but they're going to move it to the Middle East, I guess.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think maybe we'll see her in a flashback sequence.
Yeah, right.
Or I don't know. Well, that's the thing, because what we don't have in this series necessarily is strong supervillains.
No,
I
because
mean,
they are
the heroes
Yeah.
are the villains, but that's the thing that we don't get. It's weird that we haven't got like real authentic supervillains. Like at least on the face of it, it's weird that none.
Yeah,
of,
it's like bank robbers and
It's weird that we haven't, because in this universe there's supposed to be maybe 200 superheroes. It's weird that they haven't like turned any of them.
Yeah.
Like even like for marketing purposes have gone, hey, let's make you guys villains or anything like that.
But I guess that's what they end up. Well, that Homeland ends up creating for marketing purposes.
That's true. Yeah.
And I think it also would be interesting for that guy in particular. He's never been in a fight that he couldn't instantly win.
Yeah.
And then what happens when he goes up against somebody who can actually hurt him? Like would he step up in that moment, or would he crumble with the fear of actually being in any physical danger?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't even know if he can feel pain.
Yeah.
Because we do have those supervillains. We're talking about the laser baby. That the laser baby is being kept in a
Laser baby cot.
Yeah. But the lasers are being absorbed by the cot.
Yes.
So I'm wondering if we're going to bring in some sort of. I think maybe there needs to be some sort of leveling of the playing field.
Right.
Obviously, but
Everyone gets a laser baby?
everybody gets a laser
A
baby.
holstered laser baby.
Holstered laser baby and like a laser baby proofed shield.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
Like Captain America.
Like Captain America, exactly. Yeah, it's exactly what he's packing.
So what do you mean by leveling the
Well, I don't know. I think
field then?
again, I think we need. Yeah, I think you're right in that we need Homelander to come up against some people that he's.
And whether that even be the boys.
Yeah, right.
One of them gets superpowered enough to be able to break his nose or
exactly.
whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess because if they've got Starlight, I guess they've got one.
Yeah.
And Kamiko as well, actually. They've got a couple that are superpowered. But against like all of them, it's not.
No.
It's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the boys.
It's the boys.
There's a couple of boys here.
Yes.
Done talking about the bloody
Talking about the boys.
and also the Tick briefly.
Yes. R.I.P. the Tick.
Rip Tick.
Yeah, Rip Tick.
Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh my god!
That's where we're up to.
What a great segment on the boys we just recorded.
Absolutely, Mason.
Mm-hmm.
All in all, whatever we said about it, like that holds true.
We stand by it.
Yeah.
Because we just said it.
Hobbs and Shaw, 60 million US opening, which it's okay.
That seems.
But you got to look
okay.
at it this way, because Fate of the Furious, the last one made 98 million in its first weekend.
Mm-hmm.
The best ever was Fast 7 with 147, but they were crushing it. They were hot off the back of Paul Walker's death. So
Oh boy.
that was flying high.
Yeah,
I know
right.
that sounds very grim, but that's exactly what happened.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
Because people are like, how is this going to work at all, if at all? And it does for the most part.
Hmm.
It's also the lowest since Tokyo Drift. But you also got to think about like it's a spin-off and all those other things. And
That's true.
Do people want to see Hobbs and or Shaw? Who knows? It depends, I guess, what you think the story was.
Oh no! All right. Okay, this is a virus. Virus is gonna kill everybody.
Yep.
Everybody's gonna be dead, and they won't be able to steal DVD players anymore. Because that's what this series has become. It started
correct.
out once again people stealing DVD players, and
It
now
was stealing DVD players, then it was CGI cars racing nowhere to nothing, and then they went to Tokyo,
Yep.
and then they bought the original 2 back, but it was nothing,
Yep.
and then 5 was good. Is that the series?
that's pretty much the series, yeah.
Yeah.
But now there's a virus. They're going to kill everybody in the world, but if the bad guys get it. And who's going to stop them is Hobbs and Shaw. They're back. But they don't want to work together. They work different ways because one does a big punch and one does a series of smaller punches. That's their difference.
One's finesse, the other
One's a big punch.
They're both bald.
They're both a couple of baldies.
Most of the people in the Fast and Furious movies are bald.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's how they get their power.
I think so.
Hmm.
Opposite of Samson.
Yep, exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Imagine if they all grew out their hair. I would love that. Can you imagine if they all grew out their hair?
Oh my god.
Could somebody Photoshop that? And I don't mean just put long hair on them. What would balding men in their 40s to 50s all look like?
Well,
with-
we recently saw, and we didn't mention it in the video when we recorded it. We
Yeah.
just saw the 2003 Italian Job,
Yeah.
which has Jason Statham when he still had some hair.
Yeah.
He's done miracles for bald men.
He really has.
Yeah, because he's shaved it all off. He committed to it, and he looks great.
He does. He's got a head like an anvil.
He's got the wearing the turtleneck. He looks like a little eggy in an egg cup. You know?
He does. He
Yeah.
really does. Here's a question for you.
Yes.
With Hobbs and Shaw,
Yep.
what are their jobs? What do they do?
What do you mean?
What are their skills again? Who does who work for?
Okay, so I think
It's
I think Hobbs, who is the Rock,
Yes.
he works for the DSS, which I think is like some sort of FBI situation. Like it's some vague.
But he also
He only investigates auto crimes, I guess. But when he flexed his cast off in Furious 7,
Yeah.
maybe he also quit that at the time. I don't know.
Did he ever throw in his badge? Oh, he must have,
He must
right?
have thrown in his badge. I feel like he probably would have, yeah.
But
he
he-
threw it at a desk and the desk snapped in half comically.
Yes. And he
But
did.
now he works
but
for
he
the
went
CIA.
to prison. But he also went to prison.
Oh yeah. But did he
Did
get
he throw in his
exonerated?
badge then?
Yeah.
He did get exonerated.
That's how he escaped the prison. He just threw his badge at the ground. And the prison collapsed.
So because I'm watching this, I'm like, maybe I should have done some research, but it took me a while to be like, who works for who and what?
Okay, and
Statham's
sure,
a
Statham used to
mercenary.
work for used to be in the SAS, and then he turned to crime. Maybe
He was doing crimes and killing people in one movie. He fought Vin Diesel with a wrench or something.
Yeah.
And then Vin Diesel stomped the car park and they
So-
all fell down.
let's work this out on air. Did he kill Han or not?
Yeah,
he
he
did
did.
kill Han,
He
but
did.
has that happened yet? Because Tokyo
That
Drift
has
is set-
happened, yes.
So that was so when
Yeah.
Tokyo Drift came out, that was set in the future.
Yes.
That future has come to pass
Yeah.
since then. He
that was
did
the
kill
end
Han.
of 6.
Okay.
No. 5.
Here's the problem with
5.
these movies. Here's the problem.
Yeah.
Is that each one of these movies introduces new characters that have a history with the main characters.
Yeah.
But we've never seen them before, and they're never quite properly explained. This movie
But
does
also,
it as well.
all have we.
Exactly. Yeah. This movie does it as well. They're like, okay, so I think this is in the trailer, but the villain of this piece is Brixton Law,
Yeah.
played by Idris Elba, who has a dark past with one of the
Yeah.
boys.
He's also, again, playing a weirdly enhanced man, like in Star Trek.
That's true, yeah.
Like-
And this adds to his incredible list of
Being a weirdly enhanced man.
weirdly enhanced man with a weirdly enhanced name.
Yeah.
So he's Brixton Law. He's been Striker Pentecost.
Oh, yeah. Shaw and Law. They didn't think about that even for a second.
Ah, that's the next team up, Shaw and Law.
Shaw and Law. Well, yeah. Who cares about spoilers in a way? But there's a couple of cameos that you probably don't want to know going in, and we won't spoil the ending.
Yeah,
Where
we'll talk about them later. We'll talk about them in
them later,
spoilers.
but
But
yeah.
yeah, this movie, I read an article that said basically this movie was built from the ground up to have spin-offs off the spin-off.
Yeah.
And they're clearly, this movie was clearly, we're building the team for the next one. I felt that was a problem with this movie, it's less a movie on its own and more, here's some people you're going to see next time. Aren't you excited for this?
Yeah.
Not really. Maybe. Some of them. Not
Yeah.
all of them. A couple of them.
I thought it was fine. I don't think it's bad. I don't
Yep.
think it's the worst Fast and Furious movie because that's probably 2.
Yes.
Maybe?
I think it's 2.
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
But it's the best part of this is for me. First of all, it's like 20 minutes too long.
Okay,
'Cause
that's the best part for you.
That's the best part.
Oh my! In the theater, you're like, oh my god, I'm loving this. Everybody's checking their watch, looking at their phone. You're like, I'm needing to pee, and you're like, oh my god, this is so good. Sucked in, everyone.
Just the Bad Boys 2.
Yeah.
Not as bad, but there's a final act. But I also knew that was coming because the trailer reveals all of that. They all go to
Yeah.
Samoa at the end or whatever
Uh-huh.
for a big old punch up. But the action scenes are good for the most part, but I really like the Jason Statham, The Rock combination of just yelling at each other.
Here's the thing though, that I think you're right. There are some good individual scenes to this, but I don't think cohesively it makes necessarily a great movie.
Sure.
And I think I said this to you recently. I kept watching this expecting like the magic to take over. Like,
Right.
oh my god, it's Hobbs and Shaw, it's The Rock and Statham, and they're going to work together, and it's going to be so much fun. Them just teaming up, and it never for me it never really was that much fun.
I think I enjoyed their team up in the last movie more if that did happen in the last movie.
It's,
Because they go to prison together,
Yep.
and then they insult each other, and they're doing bicep curls with the stone bench or whatever in prison. And
yeah, look,
and then
again,
there's the baby bit. The baby bit
that's
is still the best bit.
The baby bit is the best bit, and I don't think anything in this movie lives up to that
No.
scene.
I think
Fast
there's
8.
some good stuff in this though, because the director of this, David Leitch, who did John Wick, Deadpool 2. So he knows how to do action stuff, but I think it is a little CGI people standing on a CGI car.
It's a little plasticky, I
Yeah.
thought. Yeah.
In parts.
Yeah, but okay, so there's an action sequence. There's a chase scene. This
Yep.
towards the start, and I remember it being pretty good. The first car chase in London or wherever it is.
Yeah.
What's the only thing you remember from it though? It's the bit where they go under the truck. It's in the trailer.
Oh,
when
where
the
he's
car
like
goes
on-
under the truck.
Yeah.
The
Oh, yeah,
motorcycle
the
goes
motorcy-
under the truck. That's it. That's all I remember from
Yeah,
it.
okay.
And that's not a real bit.
Yeah.
They didn't actually fling a car under a motorcycle.
Okay,
under it.
I did not like Idris Elba's magic motorbike.
Okay.
that could just
So
that
Idris
he
Elba,
could
for people
talk
that don't
to, and it could transform.
That's his Knight Rider car.
Yeah,
That's
I
his Knight
saw
Rider
his Hot
motorbike.
Wigs. I saw his Hot Wigs interview.
Yeah.
If he said that in that even.
No, he did.
He
Yeah.
did. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's how they sold it to him. He's like, "What am I doing in this?" And they're like, "It's Knight Rider.
yeah,
You're Knight Rider."
And it's
in
like I
this."
hate Knight Rider. And like everybody hates Knight Rider, right? We know. You're gonna do it or not.
So you hated his magic motorcycle because it's a weird shape changing
I just
motorcycle.
don't think it fits in. Isn't
Yeah.
this supposed to be about real cars or something?
Nope, this one is not about real cars. This one's about springy motorcycles, and it's about the McLaren. It's about the McLaren.
No, it is about the McLaren.
We're driving a McLaren.
Sometimes there's
Don't
an old
forget about
McLaren,
it.
is there sometimes?
No, there's only new McLarens.
Okay.
But I don't know if we've ever seen this before in these movies, but you know how there's always, when somebody's really about to like put the hammer down and really peel off in their car,
Yeah.
it's always like, you see that mini montage of like steering wheel, accelerator, gear shift, wheel spinning fast, and then they go off. This one has that. It has gear change, wheel spinning, accelerator, clutch, McLaren logo.
Yeah.
Like they put it in there.
Yeah.
It's not even like spinning wheel and you can see the logo. It's
No.
just like,
It's just McLaren.
in this
It should just be a guy going, McLaren.
which fascinates me because this is obviously and they're a cool car, obviously, but this branding is, and this marketing is for people who are so rich they can afford a McLaren, but they are so dumb that they can't look it up later. They have to be told what it is in the movie.
It's the rich kids of Instagram.
They can't
That's
Google
what it's
car
called.
in Hobbs Shaw.
Well, I didn't know it was. I couldn't tell you if it was a McLaren off the like. That's only. I'm not a cars guy, so
Right,
that's
right.
probably why you're more of a cars guy than me. But I knew there was a car.
Right.
It could have said Ford. It could have said Mitsubishi hatchback. I don't know. The car stunts in this I feel aren't as spectacular because they feel false, a lot of it.
Yeah.
Especially towards the end where they hook four together,
Yeah.
seemingly by magic.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah. So Idris Elba, he's got a magic
That looked like a video game cutscene.
Yeah, it really did.
It really did. Yeah.
he's got a magic motorbike. He's got a magic spine that
Yep.
they zip up after they put his powers into
Yep.
him.
He's got a magic heads up display in his head.
Yes.
That can see punches coming
Unless you
etc.
rattle him on the back of the head.
Yeah.
And he also has missing some bottom teeth because he's got metal teeth. And I think that's where Jason Statham once shot him through the head to kill him.
Right.
He was way off though. He missed him by a lot. Like he's like, I shot him through the brain. No, you didn't.
You hit him in the
You
teeth.
shot him in the teeth.
You're not as good as this as you think you are, Statham.
But the most interesting thing about this movie to me is the Wall Street Journal article that came
Yeah,
as a result
right.
of it,
Yeah.
which we've got a video on this week. But where is that at? Do you want to explain that?
So there was a Wall Street Journal article this week. We're very learned about the contractual obligations of famous movie actors in fistfights in movies.
In particular, Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious, where apparently they put in their contracts that they can only be beaten up in shown to be beaten up in very limited ways. They can't lose fights in certain situations. They can't be punched more than the other guy.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing,
And
what it is.
The fights have to end in a stalemate
Yeah.
or whatever. And it's to me, it's the most interesting action heroes aren't the ones where they draw at the end.
No,
or
absolutely
they
not.
punch each other the exact
Yeah.
same amount of times. Like, for example, Indiana Jones. He mostly gets beaten up.
Yeah, exactly.
But the interesting thing is that he keeps coming back.
Exactly. It's the tenacity.
Yeah. It's like it's the John McClane before 4.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like the king of the modern day action movie is the original John McClane. And
Yeah.
in that first Die Hard, he's in a bad state from minute one.
Yeah. He's got no shoes.
He doesn't have a shoe. He doesn't have a proper shirt on.
Do you reckon he's got a contract now? It's like I have to wear shoes in every movie.
I think
Bruce
I think his contract now is I'll wear whatever clothes I was wearing when I came in, and I'll look it directly into a camera and say the words, and then I'll leave. And
I'll say whatever I want.
and you can build a movie around that.
Yeah, he could just be like,
I don't want to be here making this movie.
Yeah.
And they've got to build a
what's
movie
it about,
around-
a bank vault? That's his
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah,
I think he's in a movie called Safe, isn't he?
probably. Yeah.
But it might be about being safe
Sure.
or school safety.
Yeah.
Do you want to do spoilers?
Sure. Hang on. Do we have anything else to? Look, I think there's some. And speaking of, Vanessa Kirby's great in this. I think.
She is really good, and
Yeah.
my favorite action scene is the first one with her.
And The Rock.
And that is good, actually. That one is really good.
Uh-huh.
But the bit where she steals the virus,
Yeah. Right.
and then she gets in the truck, and you've seen it.
I have seen it. I've seen the
And
movie.
she's really good, but apparently, and I can't remember who I heard this from. It might have been Charlie Clausen, but I don't know.
It's not in the article. This is
separately.
film
It's-
clickbait.
Yes.
Yeah.
That Statham really liked one of her action scenes, so he went, I'm doing that one.
Right.
And I
He
don't
has
know
some
what
sort
it
of-
is.
He has some sort of veto
Yeah.
power about
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Right.
I think there's a scene also in the trailer where they're in a corridor together and The Rock has to fight a big guy and Statham fights a bunch of regular sized guys.
Because they got to work to their
Yeah.
strengths.
That's-
one big punch.
Yeah.
A series of little punches.
That's true, actually.
Hmm.
I think that scene is good. I mean, the choreography is good, but that's more a fun scene than a spectacular action scene. It's more kind
Yeah.
of humorous than it is. There is a lot of good stuff in this movie. I feel like
Yeah.
I've been negative on it.
Uh-huh.
But I think all in all, I did enjoy it.
Look, I think so as well, but I think it needs a tweak so that it feels like these characters are more in peril.
Okay.
Again, as is in the trailer, there's a scene where Brixton Law and his henchmen,
Yeah.
they're leaping off a building,
Yep.
and The Rock just leaps up. Like they're on
Yeah.
the indestructible super cyber soldier is on a cable, so he doesn't die.
Yeah.
But The Rock just leaps out of the building.
And jumps man to man.
Man to man,
50
exactly.
feet at a
yeah.
time.
Like
yeah. It's one of those universes where if you crash into a car roof,
yeah.
you may as well be on a trampoline.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Like, you're fine.
Yeah, yeah,
You're absolutely
yeah.
fine.
But that's like there's no, and that's the thing.
And I know that's these movies,
Yeah,
though.
and if it was a superhero movie, if it was Captain America doing that, I'd be like, okay, well he's gonna. But even that, like if Captain America leaps off a roof and he lands on his shield, it's an indestructible shield, but it's still gonna hurt. Remember
yeah,
Winter Soldier?
and it's also a magic universe where it absorbs
Exactly.
the whatever.
Yeah. But even he gets a superhuman man.
Yeah.
Gets beaten up more than these guys do.
Yeah.
And this allegedly is in a universe in a world of dangerous street racing. You know?
Oh, yeah, that's
and
what it's
nothing.
about.
Yeah, exactly.
They've got race wars.
But nobody
what they're
is.
called,
Yeah,
just
no,
so
I
we're
remember
clear.
they have race wars. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, but nobody's getting a scratch in these movies.
Yeah.
They're getting the very superficial, like little scuffs on their faces.
Yeah.
You know?
But I still think, all in all, I think it's a mostly good collection of action scenes and funny moments between Statham and The Rock and Statham's sister.
Yeah, right,
As well,
uh-huh.
I think it's good for the most part.
Okay,
yeah.
I think you like the banter more than I did.
That's probably true.
But I think it's to I don't know. I think that this movie needs some tweaks.
Yeah.
I don't know. The sequel needs some tweaks. But it's more like I'm gonna hit your head so fire up your bum's gonna have a head in it. Like, that's not.
No, not that exactly. Those insults maybe not as much,
Yeah,
but
right.
just their general interactions I enjoy.
Right. Okay, that's true. Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna say best movie ever.
Yeah, I'm gonna say best movie ever.
Yeah.
It's kind of grudging. Also, there's the opening sequence is kind of like it's a split screen as you see their different
Sure.
lives as they wake up, and like the Rock gets up and he cracks some eggs in a glass and he just drinks a glass of eggs. And Jason Statham, this oh my god, he's such a rebel. He just makes a little omelet.
I
Not-
feel like that's
what
a
a lot.
retcon. Is that a retcon for that character? I thought he was like a grimy, like British thug.
Well,
He's
maybe-
making omelets in a clean-cut apartment.
Well, that's what I'm gonna.
Is that what he's always been?
But that's the thing, like, but that's not enough of a difference in their lives. Like, if he'd woken up and, like, and just glass of vodka, like, by the bedside or whatever,
Well, he
just
does
drink
have,
it from the bottle.
He pulls a beer.
Nah.
It's not the same, is
No,
it?
but it looks like it's like 10 a.m. or whatever.
Yeah,
That's
you're
fine.
right, yeah. And
It's
he's in a
whatever.
suit, isn't he?
And he wakes up, also in that, he wakes up with, like, a woman in the bed who we never see again.
Yeah.
Doesn't make her an omelette. Rude.
That is true.
It's rude.
Also, I think it
Unless
would
she's
be
dead. She might be dead.
Yeah, that's a good point. She might be dead.
I didn't factor that in. Maybe he is a bad boy after all.
Yeah. I think if you wanted to make this movie more realistic, they would wake up and the montage would just be The Rock is in the gym for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Like that would be while Statham's being clean or whatever his character is about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, The Rock's a family man in this. I'm sure we probably... Do we know that from the
His
previous...
daughter encourages him to get out of hospital and he breaks the
Oh,
cast.
yeah, that's right. Okay.
In whatever movie that's
Okay,
in.
cool.
He heals his arm through
Yeah, right.
busting out of a cast.
Mhm. All right, let's do spoilers.
Is that the last time he was injured? I mean, he's injured in this because they fight a Superman or whatever.
Yeah, but vaguely.
Yeah,
you know
vaguely.
what I mean?
You're right. Yeah, spoilers. Ryan Reynolds is in this, and so is Rob Delaney. Both
That's
from
true.
Deadpool 2, both directed by David Leitch. Yeah.
And I get the sense that, and again, we get this unexplored backstory between Ryan Reynolds and.
Did you stay
and The
all
Rock.
the way for the credits?
Yep. There's a lot of post-credits stuff in this.
I left at some point.
Okay,
I
right.
googled it and went, "Yep, I read it." That's
Okay, right,
cool,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of unexplained backstory,
Mm.
and to some degree, I enjoy that. But I also there's
Do you
too
feel like
many...
you're opening a book halfway through? kind of
Exactly,
thing?
yeah. And the next one, the Eteon, which is the corporation that wants to end the world and blah blah blah. There's a mysterious voice, and who is it? And it's just going to be some guy we don't know.
Yeah, I think it's going to be... Yeah, I don't think it's going to be... They'll get an actor.
Yeah, well, see, that's the
Yeah,
thing.
they'll be
That-
like, it's fucking the Walter White guy or whatever.
That's
yeah.
See, that's the problem with, and I guess that's what I was getting at earlier, is that the reveal isn't plot based; it's just celebrity based.
Yes.
Like, remember when they defeated Luke Evans at the end of 7 or whatever, 6 or whichever
think
one it was.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. But at the end, they're like, but someone's out for revenge. It's Jason Statham.
Yeah.
It's not a character we knew from previously. Like, if it wouldn't make any sense. But if it was revealed that the leader of this was Han,
Yeah, right.
at least that would make sense because he'd be out for
Could
revenge.
be Luke Evans.
Could it be Luke Evans?
He's in a coma.
Right.
So, yes.
Okay, yeah. I guess
He's
it
like,
could.
I thought we were brothers. And he's like, I've got a new brother, this giant egg-shaped man.
Guess that's
Is
true.
that Vin Diesel or The Rock
Yeah,
I'm talking
but
about?
the,
Doesn't matter.
The voice goes, don't you remember me, Hobbs? So
Yeah.
it's somebody from Hobbs's past.
Well, it could be still Luke Evans.
I guess it could, but then wouldn't it be like, don't you remember me, Hobbs? It's
And
it's
Shaw.
your mate's brother. It's me. It's your brother Shaw. Sure, it's me. I'm also a Shaw, I guess. But, and then it's like, oh, it's bloody Helen Mirren's in this or whatever. So the next reveal is just going to be, it's another name actor.
Yeah, you're right.
Which doesn't, like, if you could, but that, like, when we talk, because these are way more in common with superhero movies now than they are
100%.
racing movies or heist movies or whatever.
It's
Like,
barely a race war in sight.
Exactly, but like if you think about Infinity War, they go to the planet to get the Soul Stone,
Yeah.
and the Red Skull's there, and we all go, "Oh my god, it's that!" Remember them from like
Yeah.
10 movies ago? Remember
Blew
the
my
Red
mind.
Skull kind of thing? But this is just like, yeah, it's bloody, it's gonna be some guy.
Yeah, it will be just some guy.
Yeah, it's
I'm trying to think who it's going to be. Dave Bautista. Though he hates
Yeah.
these movies. I think
Okay,
that's what
right.
he was like, I hate these. And
Okay,
I'll
right.
never be in one.
Well, they'll give him $50 million.
Yeah, he'll do it anyway.
Anyway, Rob Delaney and see that's the thing. Like I feel like this is.
Ronda Rousey. She was in these, but she fought
Was she?
someone else. Yeah, she fought...
Oh yeah, she was in 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or 6.
Yeah, no, she was definitely in 7.
Maybe.
Because she's the bodyguard in the
Yeah.
in the building of when they crashed the car through in between.
And
the
that was 7?
That was
'Cause that's
7.
all, because I yeah.
That
No,
was
I
definitely
believe I
7.
believe the scenario, but I don't know what movie is what.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the thing about this movie is that they were clearly like, hey, you like Ryan Reynolds and The Rock teaming up? Bit of tease of that. Now let's do it in the next one.
Yeah. Also, Ryan Reynolds is an action guy in this as well. He's not just
Seems
a
like he
pencil
kills a lot of people
pushing
in the
guy, yeah.
in the
Hallway.
Did you stay for that?
I
You
saw
didn't
the
say
hallway
that.
bit.
Yeah, okay, right.
Yeah.
He beats up like he's clearly beaten up like 30 guys.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
It's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
He's just doing Deadpool, isn't he?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's fine though. That's his
Right?
strength. That's
Uh-huh.
what he does.
But
yeah.
I would like to see I think their name's a Lock and Loeb.
Oh, those two. I like the Rob Delaney.
Rob Delaney.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
team
see
them
that,
up.
I'd see that movie.
Yes,
over.
exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because also they're normal-sized men with normal-sized heads.
They're normal-sized men, and Rob Delaney doesn't mind, like...
He'll do anything.
He'll do anything. He'll cop a punch for real, I imagine.
Definitely. I did like that line where he said, I met Shaw before he beat me up in a bar, but he doesn't remember.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed that, yeah.
Oh, and he's the air marshal. What's his name?
Oh, yeah, Kevin Hart's in
Kevin
this.
Hart's in this, yeah.
Who cares?
Kevin Hart fans. I think he was more tolerable.
Yeah,
tolerable
actually,
in this
that wasn't
than,
a bad
than
scene,
in
to be
previous things
fair,
that I've
yeah.
seen him in.
Yeah. Now, I went to the toilet during this movie, Mason.
Okay.
And I asked you this the other day, but Kevin Hart does get back on he does return, doesn't he, to give them the plane?
He doesn't return in person. They talk to him on the... they don't see him again in person.
Yeah.
He's in the bathroom and he's on the phone. And
Yeah.
he says like, hey, I'll get you those tickets to Samoa.
Yeah, because I knew that was a good time to leave because I'm like, oh, they're just going to bring Kevin Hart back. I can go to the toilet for this. And I did.
Yeah.
It's the staple of my movie-going experience.
Waiting for Kevin Hart taking it to the toilet.
Yeah, that's right.
You went to the toilet when Kevin Hart went to the toilet. Isn't that fun?
Is that what he did?
Yeah, he was
I
in the
wasn't.
toilet.
I didn't say it because I was in the. I didn't
Oh, that's
say
perfect. That's serendipity right there.
Isn't it just?
Yeah.
I like the bit where at the end when Brixton is defeated, Baxton, whatever his name is, and the Rock's like,
We're going to use teamwork. We're
Yeah.
going to work as a team.
yeah, work as a team, you dumbasses. But he's like, you may have a magic spine that they zip you up in your back with, but we've got heart or whatever. Okay.
Yeah. But also, like, they didn't factor that in. They weren't like, we'll make you the ultimate super soldier, but if two people fight you once, you are in trouble, mister. So if you could fight people in a line, old school.
Because I guess is he as durable as a regular man?
He seems more durable.
But
I mean, he's got those durable front teeth.
But why is he more durable?
Because of that spine.
But not
I don't know,
his,
internal
his
bits.
bones
I
aren't,
don't
are
know.
they?
I don't know.
Like he's talking about I'm the next step in whatever.
If he's more resilient than The Rock and Jason Statham, he's completely indestructible.
Tell me you want to be the first augmented man. That would be terrible.
It really
You'd be
would.
the worst. It's like if you had now the first iPhone. It'd be
Yeah.
garbage.
Well, you got the first one and you're restricted to it forever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh wow, yeah. That's probably true. When I was a kid, I always wanted the bionic arms and all that sort of
Sure.
stuff and all the cyborg whatevers. But now these days, I'm like, they'd be filled with like ads.
Definitely.
You'd have to have You'd have to have an always-on internet service, so you'd be driving and you'd go through a tunnel and your arms would stop working because the signal stopped, and you'd be like, no. And you'd forget to your credit card would expire, and then you'd wake up and you'd have ads running in your eyes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
'Cause
Or you'd be dead.
You'd be dead, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
You just die. Anyway, it's a movie. They made it, didn't they?
I sure did.
You know what it's time for?
What's the time for?
What we reading?
Oh, what are we gonna read?
I'm doing the thing. What are we reading today? You're never going to believe what I watched, Mason.
What'd you watch?
I watched Jumper from 2008.
Why'd you do that?
It was just on streaming, and I needed something to watch while I edited. And it's good, man. It's fine. Hayden Christensen is not a good actor in this or the Star Wars movies, but he's a good actor in other things.
Like what things? I feel I ask
Shattered
you
Glass
every
every single
Hayden
time.
Christensen
And Life
comes
is a
up.
House.
Okay,
But
right.
it's pretty fun. It's a
Right.
fun premise of a guy who can. Everyone's seen Jumper or
Why
knows
did
what
I
Jumper.
why did I hate Jumper at the time? Did I hate Jumper at the time?
Because it's not very good.
Oh right,
But
but it's
it's-
worth watching on streaming.
It's got Samuel L. Jackson as a guy who hates jumpers.
Update Netflix.
Billy Elliott's in it. He's really fun in it.
Netflix taking things that I want to watch off Netflix. Update.
Yeah.
Before I sat down in Hobbs and Shaw, and I went, oh, you know what? I'm going to rewatch Fast 8 when I
Sure.
get home. So I went to the Netflix app on my phone, and I looked, and I searched for Fast 8, and it was in there. It's the first result.
Yeah.
And then I went home, and it was gone. Like, they took it away. Like, it's like they knew I was watching. Why would you take them down now? They took all the Fast and Furious movies off. Why would you do it? There's a new one coming out. People are going to watch them.
But I think that's why people. If I watched 4 in a row, I would not, and I didn't have to. I
Right.
wouldn't see the new one. Would you?
Interesting.
Would you?
But I don't think that's how it works.
Yeah,
but
you're
I
probably
also
right.
think that these movies are based on people getting fired up for
Yeah.
Fast and Furious,
I
La
don't
Familia.
know, but they all blend together, don't they?
I guess they probably do. I mean, I won't know because they're not on there anymore, so I can't check. What am I going to do? Pay for a Fast and Furious movie?
don't think so.
Unlikely.
What are you reading?
I started watching. There's a new season of Dear White People on Netflix.
I've never
which
seen that. Is
it's
it good?
a good show.
Yeah, I've heard
it's a
good
good
things.
show, man.
Would you give it out of 110?
I'm laughing and I'm learning. Out of 110.
Yeah.
105.
Wow, that's really good.
Pretty good,
Where does
right?
it fall down? I
Um,
don't want to know what you like about it.
right.
I want to know about the very specific things you don't. I mean, some shows just aren't 110, are they?
Yeah, I think maybe the recap didn't cover everything that happened prior, so I was a little bit lost.
That's
initially.
5 points?
Yeah, that's 5 points
brutal,
out of 110.
Mason.
That's not so
Well,
bad.
whoever put that together needs to. You should
exactly.
be fired.
Maybe I'm rating the maybe 110 for the show.
Okay. 0 for the recap.
No, 80 for the recap. It was a pretty solid recap.
Okay, it's still 30 short, is
That's
what I'm
true,
saying.
yeah.
Yeah, well, those are the things we're reading, isn't it? I mean, I have a podcast all about things that I was looking at. It's called Suggestible.
Yes.
You're not in it.
Huh.
But you,
Intriguing.
You can come along.
Oh yeah.
You should come on it, Mason.
I will.
Are you busy?
Well, I haven't read or seen
On
anything
Wednesdays?
recently. You record Wednesdays.
Yeah. Well,
Wednesday
don't worry.
day or Wednesday night.
It doesn't matter, Mason. You don't have to be on it. You can just
Live my life?
You can just live your life.
I guess I could just listen to it.
Yeah.
And then I could give my opinions to you in person later.
You just tell me what you're doing and reading.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
I might just delve into my comics because I also like
Okay.
to.
There's a
do
new
comic every
Jimmy
week.
Olsen. The first issue of Jimmy Olsen is out.
Oh,
I
is that
haven't,
out?
I haven't read it yet, but
Fantastic.
I'm excited for that because I love
Because
Jimmy
that's Matt
Olsen.
Fraction, right?
Yes.
Excellent. I read House of X.
Oh yeah, there's a new. So this is Jonathan Hickman.
Yeah.
Who is kind of the.
I don't
he did
know.
a great Fantastic Four run a few years ago.
Yes.
That was super good. He's a big ideas man.
A lot of that, I'm like, I don't know. I haven't read any X-Men in so long. So like Professor X is maybe also Cerebro or something. He's wearing a big dumb helmet with an
There's
X.
been a lot of changes recently that I cannot
Yeah.
recall.
But I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
characters have died and come back.
Yeah.
Cyclops was leading some sort of mutant rebellion for a
Yes.
while, and then he died, and I think he's back now as well.
That's right.
But this one is the new mutant status quo, but then it's also 100 years in the future or 1,000 years in the future?
All of that is entirely possible.
Okay, then.
Or
terrific.
impossible.
Okay, right.
Also, the Batman Who Laughs wraps up where Batman gets injected with the serum that turns him into the evil Joker Batman.
Yeah, right.
And that wrapped up issue 7. I think it's a pretty bloody solid run on
Okay.
a Batman who's slowly losing his sanity, who has to fight a guy who is like the result of what will happen when the virus fully kicks in.
I see.
Yeah. And it's also a result of all that. That Batman, there's too many Batmans in all the different dimensions.
Dark Knight's Metal, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it's less confusing.
Okay,
than
good.
that. So you only
Appreciate it.
really need to know the Grim Knight, who's Batman with guns.
Yep.
He's the Punisher, and the Batman Who Laughs, who's the
Yeah,
Joker
right.
Batman. That's it. That's all you need to
They
know.
were kind of not my favourite versions of those Batman, so it's interesting.
What
that
did you
they-
like? Which ones did you like?
I can't remember.
Yeah, that's good.
They've also immediately disappeared out of my brain, so they
Wow.
can't have been that memorable.
Such wonderful characters.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe Batman, but he's as an ice cream van.
Maybe he's a duck.
Oh.
He's Duck Man.
Oh.
What are we reading? Are we,
Yeah.
Mason? No, the next one? The latest
Latest,
one?
I'll do latest, yeah.
What are we reading?
Yes. It's loading.
The classic one was letters, oh letters, we love you. Some letters, they're only a day away. Hang on, they're here right now. We're gonna do letters.
Oh, side note before I forget, friend of the show, Fergal Quigley, finally created the #1 Party Boy Nick Mason t-shirt.
Finally.
So that's on my Instagram.
Oh,
if you
excellent.
If you want to track that down, that's a real thing you can buy.
Purchase a copy of.
To go with the James I'm Fine ?
Yes.
t-shirt.
What a combination.
Oh my god.
You'll be the hit of a party.
Go
And by
to
that
a
I
party
mean you'll have to explain it.
Every time.
and
just,
people will be like, what?
Oh my god, the perfect couple's costume. Let me tell you. Just your regular selves with t-shirts with two guys nobody else knows. Oh, so good.
If you do want to reach the show, #WeeklyPlanetPod on Twitter or weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com. Shoot a bloody Gmail over on your bloody email or Gmail to Mason's Gmail and he'll answer. He'll look
Thank
at those
you.
Gmails.
I don't have one yet, but I'll find
Okay,
one.
well, while you're
Don't
doing
worry
that,
about
I
it.
can do this from Adam. I thought this would be an interesting one for you because you read a lot of comics when you were a kid. But my 4-year-old is getting very interested in my comics. What are some age-appropriate, if any, ones that I can read to him? Any Marvel or DC arcs or one-shots appropriate? Can't think of any. #WeeklyPlanetPod.
Is that from Adam?
Yes.
Because this is also from Adam. He says, my son is 5 and becoming very curious about my Marvel Comics collection. So maybe he's at a birthday.
Going on
in the
here?
in the middle, or is he a fake kid? That's the question.
This sounds like somebody who just wants to read a bunch of kids' comics. That's what I think myself.
Yeah.
But no, that's an interesting age because comics are... I do storybooks with my kid.
Yep.
There's Marvel storybooks and Star Wars storybooks, which he just gravitates towards them. I don't like... I get given them and he finds them on the shelf and he's like...
Right.
Today he brought me in the golden book version of Star Wars Attack of the Clones. And I'm like, this is the worst one. What did you bring me this for?
Yeah, wow.
I yelled at him for 45 minutes, Mason.
Incredible. So you went easy on him because normally that would go longer.
What did you read when you were a kid, though? Were you reading Archie and Garfield, or what are you reading?
That's a good question.
4, your reading comprehension is not great.
Yeah,
also,
no, that's true.
It needs to be read. You need to be read too. Really,
yeah,
that age,
right.
yeah.
I don't think any comics were read to me as a child. I think I just jumped straight in.
Yeah.
And I think again, the first comic I ever read, I think it was a Spider-Man where the Hobgoblin was introduced. So that was pretty grim.
That's confusing.
Yeah. The front cover is the Spider-Man costume being torn in twain by the Hobgoblin.
Oh, Hobgoblin.
Yeah.
He has to sew that back up.
I know, right? And also a really, really confusing Superman comic book, which was like 10 Superman stories, one of which had Superman in it, but it was increasingly Superman stories set increasingly further into the future.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Like thousands of years.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know who Superman was at the time.
Was that
I
a
don't think.
good comic though? Like by today's standards?
Yeah.
Who did that one?
I can't remember.
Yeah, that's not an Alan Moore one, is it?
No.
I remember you
It was
talking about that.
Yeah, it was like an anthology issue.
And the one in the very far future can't get into the Fortress of Solitude because...
No, that's a different thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a different thing.
You didn't let me finish. Because... No. Okay, yeah, fair enough. So I'd say storybooks, but I remember I read one a while back. There's a Chewbacca, it's like 4-issue run, and people don't consider it a great Star Wars comic.
Uh-huh.
But I think it's also because it's about Chewbacca and he rescues like a kid and like a bunch of orphans and stuff.
Yeah, right.
And people are like, it's a crap Star Wars comic or whatever, but I think it... First of all, I don't think it's crap, but also I think it works well as a kid's comic, like a little, kids know and like Chewbacca. It's like a little Chewbacca adventure. So it's like it's in the new run of Star Wars comics.
Yeah, right.
Like whatever it's called. I'll
Marvel
quickly
do
find
have
it.
like a very... I think it only comes out every once in a while, but it's like it's like Marvel Junior Adventures or something like that. And they're kind of like little Marvel superheroes kind of thing. And they're very kind of simple storylines. Maybe that's...
Like
that's
Muppet Babies.
Yeah, well, not really, because they're like little in scale, but they go on regular adventures.
Okay.
They're not like little. They're just like little sized versions.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's
I think
fine.
I read
yeah.
one when I was on Andrew Levin's podcast Series Issues.
Yeah,
I
right,
think I read
okay.
one of those, and
Oh,
they're kind of
very good.
they're kind of fun, and they're kind of like I'll try and think of the name, and I'll tweet it out if I remember. But it's
Yeah.
kind of like, and they're kind of built like. Like old school comic books where they'll also have like little mazes and little fun things to do, and it's kind of like a nod and a wink to the parents, but it's also
Okay.
like fun stories for the kids.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I think when I was a kid, I did read like Richie Rich comics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're very simple.
I read a lot of Garfield when I was
wonder
a
if-
kid.
Yeah.
A lot of Snake Tales.
Sure.
If you want to see a snake with boobs, Snake Tales
Snake Tales
is the
Sure.
comic for you.
Yep. Foot Rot Flats.
Yeah, I read a lot of that as well.
Yeah.
What a world.
What a world we live in.
For good or ill. Mostly ill.
Mostly
I would
ill,
say.
yeah. Yeah.
So I just brought that comic up, and it is it's called Star Wars Chewbacca. It's by Jerry Duggan and art by Phil Noto. Oh, I think he's doing the current Star Wars run, though I might be wrong. But he's done a bunch of other Star Wars stuff.
There's an email from Aaron.
Yeah. Yes.
Ask James if he saw the cow in the movie Twister.
What? No, I didn't. What?
That's intriguing.
Should I rewatch it?
Yeah, you should. I think
Okay,
maybe
I
you'll
will.
see it. Yeah.
So for another
This
one?
is from Colton. Cole Nutter. Good name.
Mm-hmm.
Hot scoop or shot of poop about Lord of the Rings Amazon show.
Okay.
Edinburgh in Scotland has had announcements in the paper preparing them for a big Amazon show filming there that has also called for extras. Consensus is it's the Lord of the Rings show. Do we
Right.
know that already?
I don't believe so. I just
Oh.
assumed it was going to be in New Zealand.
There you
But,
go. Might be in Scotland.
Wasn't there some weird New Zealand filming rights thing that happened, or pay disputes and unions and shit?
That is correct.
Lindsay
yes.
Ellis did the Hobbit
The video on it.
on
Yeah, sure. Uh-huh.
So that's probably
maybe
that's that
New
related.
Zealand is out. Maybe
Yeah.
they're like never again.
That's interesting. Did you see that trailer for the Lord of the Rings TV series? But it was more like the creators involved with it, and they go through the entire team.
Nope.
It's a really good team, and I can't name any of them off the top of my head, but there's some really good creative people behind it, and I think it could be something pretty good or whatever. But
Nice.
good, maybe. It's off to a good start. Yeah.
Ooh.
I still don't know whether it's connected to the movies or not. I think it might be. But also,
Tom Bombadil. This is an email from Michael Bosmarov. It says, nearly died listening to you talk about people nearly dying.
we get one of these like a month.
No, but this is an extra layer.
Okay.
This is a real
Oh,
Inception.
that wasn't a like shut up, Michael.
This is a real Inception or Tenet situation.
Okay.
July 20th this year, I had a major car accident while listening to your show from June 20th, 2018. I crashed into a deer while you were reading a letter about near-death experiences a listener had while listening to your show.
Oh, yeah.
My wife and I are okay, so all is good. Needless to say, you lads are indeed cursed.
Well, yeah. We're cursed to this podcast by Gypsy or whatever.
Yeah, that's the
whatever.
thing, yeah.
Whatever the
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
we said in episode 3.
Okay, but the question is, can we get another layer?
Oh, somebody
If
listening
could-
to
if
this having an accident.
Having an accident. Could that happen?
But you don't want like a death?
No.
Okay, good.
It has to be a funny accident.
Okay. If you have a tragic accident, we don't write in. We don't
I mean,
want to know.
it'd work. I mean, it'd certainly...
It would confirm the
It would
theory.
certainly confirm the theory, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? So maybe send us an email and say not for publication.
Yeah, fair
then
point.
We'll know. Then we'll know. You know.
I got a tweet here from Yosaf.
Oh, yes.
Says, would you like to see an episode of Marvel's new What If series where Tony Stark dies from the initial shrapnel blast? No Iron Man, no Avengers, and the villains stay their course. Because who's left in the universe? You still got space stuff though, don't you?
That's true.
Like most of the Earth villains wouldn't exist, except Hydra, I guess.
That's a good question. What would happen, I think, is that at the start of the Avengers, when Loki is in Berlin or whatever it is,
Yeah.
since there'd be no Iron Man to jump down and blast him, he would incinerate Captain America. And then the
That's
movie would
entirely
end.
possible. Yeah, then the movie would end.
Yeah.
Also, like Obadiah Stane would just run a corrupt company selling
That's true. Yep.
weapons.
Yep.
He might even be Hydra.
That's true.
We just don't know because he
Yeah.
died in a big robot suit.
That's
There was
true.
a big explosion.
Yeah,
It was a big blue
But
explosion.
he might have some sort of profit-sharing arrangement with the rest of the Stark employees, and therefore Mysterio wouldn't...
Exactly.
Can we spoil that? Let's not.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Let's not.
Yeah, everybody. Maybe it'll be a big old happy company, and everybody's.
Yeah, I think there's still. Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see what would happen regardless of him.
Yeah.
Because I think there's still a lot of stuff, but he did a lot of bad stuff.
there'd be no whiplash because there's nobody
No,
to
he
get
wouldn't come
revenge
back,
on
yeah.
Tony Stark. There'd be.
'Cause all that arc reactor technology wouldn't really exist.
Yeah, would Killian still be building those extremist soldiers?
Actually, he'd probably still because he created him before.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the arc reactor does exist, but it's not a miniaturized version.
That's
of it.
true, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm, yeah.
And it was more like a fun thing that he built for fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, I guess
than
that's
like
true.
an actual-
Yeah.
Yeah. No one would think to shrink it down and put it in a war suit.
Yeah. A lot of emails asking us what we think of the boys. Well, we told you what we thought about the
Yeah,
boys.
back up, all right, back up. I'll get my boys on you. You know my mate Cunners? He'll come and get you, mate. Don't worry.
Yeah.
He's huge, isn't he, Mason?
That's
Crush your head. His bare
like one of
hands.
the boys.
Yeah.
This is from Isaac Brunton.
Yes.
He enjoys the podcast. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Isaac
very
Brunton.
much, yeah.
I also travel a lot and recently found myself listening to the pod up at 5,000 meters in Iran on a mountaineering trip.
Oh, yeah.
And here's a photo.
Could be anyone,
Could be anyone,
anywhere.
anywhere. Where's this?
No, good on him.
Where's the picture of the? I mean, he's probably taken a photo.
Those
with
clothes could be stuffed with newspaper.
it. It's true.
There might not be a man in there at all.
That's true,
Do
yeah.
you see any skin there?
No.
Yeah.
No. Could be a still from a new Star Wars 9. We don't know.
We don't know.
Do you think that's what it is?
It's
Do you think
definitely
this
that.
Is, this is some
Oscar,
leaked
yeah.
leaked footage. Okay, yeah.
Could very well be.
Negative 25 degrees Celsius.
Brutal.
Yeah.
That's the show, though, isn't it, Mason?
Yes, it is.
Bring us home, Country Road.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to the podcast. We bloody appreciate it. Thank
We
you,
do.
everybody, for subscribing and telling a friend. We appreciate that very much. If you'd like to give us a nice review, that would be very appreciated too.
I've got one right
got a
here,
review?
Mason.
Oh,
I do.
yeah.
It's the subject line is waterboarding, and it said, if I had to choose between listening to this podcast and being waterboarded, I would choose to listen to this podcast.
Yes!
5 stars.
Ah,
That's pretty good, isn't
that's
it?
pretty good.
So-
I always wondered how this podcast would stack up against actual torture.
Good. It
Good.
turns out.
I think
It's
so
really
too.
good.
I reckon
Yeah,
I'd
it's
choose
great.
it as well. I don't really
Yeah.
like listening to the sound of my own voice, but I think I would also take it over torture. So that's really good.
Reviews help, so thank you to all those people who do that.
Yeah. If you you can get a hold of us at weeklyplanetpod at Gmail, Facebook, Twitter, and Bandcamp. I'm at Wikipedia Brown on Twitter and Nick Maso, NickMaseau on Instagram. You're Mr. Sunday Movies everywhere, right?
I'm everywhere and everyone.
Everywhere that counts.
Yes.
You can go to planetbroadcasting.com. You can see all the shows on the Planet Broadcasting Network. You can sign up to our newsletter from Rob Collins, the great man himself. He's at The Weekly Planet and at Rob Collins on Twitter.
You know he is.
Yes.
Great dude.
If you'd like to support the show, and why wouldn't you?
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Multiple reasons.
Yeah,
but if you would like to,
if you'd like to anyway.
Yeah.
Regardless. If you want to chuck in a buck, you can go to patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies. You can also go to the Amazon affiliate link in our episode description.
I'm putting Blade up early this week. We did a Caravan of Garbage.
Oh, nice.
It's recorded and
We'll put that up on the Patreon.
Yeah,
Very good.
Have a look at that this week, yeah.
Thank you to The Brute and the Basilisk and Rackham for all our musical themes. We have some t-shirts on TeePublic, our regular ones, and also Ferber Quigley, I'm Fine.
That's right.
And number one Party Boy t-shirts.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good stuff.
Next week, Mason, what is it?
I don't know.
Do you want to do maybe some Tarantino stuff?
Sure. Well, we don't get
that's
Once
not
Upon
here
a-
till the 15th.
Yeah, we don't get that for a few weeks.
But next week, maybe we do Reservoir Dogs, and Pulp Fiction, maybe.
Oh,
The
yeah.
first
Rewatch
two.
those. What do you
Yeah.
reckon? Okay, pretty
Yeah.
good. Work our way up to Death Proof, I understand.
We were skipping Death Proof.
What? I think we should rewatch
I know,
Death
we'll
Proof.
do Death Proof, I know.
Should we watch Death Proof and Planet Terror or just Death Proof?
Well, we're in a bit of a predicament, I think, in the numbers leading up, because I think Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction go together very well.
Yep.
Jackie Brown, which I've never seen.
Oh, I should
but then
watch
I
Jackie
think
Brown.
the next is like the two Kill Bill movies.
Yeah, yeah.
So we've got to do like Jackie Brown and maybe Death Proof together.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we do Kill Bill or
Yeah.
some variation on that.
Okay, all right.
You know, that's depending if this podcast lasts that long. We might be cancelled. You know what I mean? Because it's PC Gone Mad.
That's absolutely the basic man.
Yeah. But that's the show, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
See you next week.
Grab that gem, you guys.
And we appreciate it, people listening.
We do.
We really do.
Yeah.
Okay, goodbye. Forever.
Oh, no, what?
Yeah, that's right.
Ah.
This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
I mean, if you want. It's up to you.